anger and sadness in Biddeford, Maine. People gathering to remember the Colombian father who was shot and killed by an ICE agent.
Down with deportation! Down with deportation!
Has become an inflection point for protests across New England, including here in Boston.
Tonight, federal agents are investigating the third ICE-related death in a week after a man running from immigration agents in Florida was hit and killed by a semi-truck. ICE is now pausing most traffic stops as lawmakers and other officials demand answers.
And as Brandon Truitt shows us from Biddeford, Maine tonight, the community is still very much in mourning.
PBS News partner spoke with Johan Guerrero's father in Colombia. He says his son was a loving, hardworking dad himself. Community organizers tell us he was taking his daughter to daycare on Monday morning when he was shot and killed by an ICE officer, and this community is seeking full accountability. The memorial grows on Hill Street in Biddeford, this small Maine town reckoning with the sudden loss of a young husband and father. 25-year-old Johan Sebastian Guerrero of Colombia shot and killed by ICE officers Monday morning. Lawmakers tell us he was not the intended target of the ICE operation, but there are few answers from federal authorities on exactly what happened. You can hear at least 6 gunshots in this video from a nearby home. ICE says they were trying to make a vehicle stop, claiming Guerrero tried driving away. In fearing for public safety, an officer discharged his weapon. This view from outside shows that white car crawl into the intersection before slowly driving in circles. ICE officers approach it, attempt but fail to open the doors. An agent in a white SUV ultimately pins Guerrero's car.
They open the door.
Okay, so we're talking again about ICE. The Democrats in the Senate are blocking a huge military funding bill because they want ICE abolished. They're basically putting the lives of our men and women serving overseas, fighting the conflict in Iran at risk because they have to protect their number one new voting bloc, the illegal immigrant entering into the country illegally, basically being above the rules. And I'm asking you guys the same question today that I was asking you last night. Why are there American people fighting so that for illegal immigrants, people who come into this country unlawfully, can have a separate set of rules from the ones that law-abiding American citizens live under? Why are these people fighting so that illegal immigrants can be above the law? Guys, I'm in the Black community, right? I've watched hundreds of Black people be killed by police through social media. I've watched all the instances. The number one sentiment you see from the same people who are defending criminals, because that's what they are, is he should have complied. It's always them, the usual suspects, chimping out, right? Why can't these people just listen and follow instructions? That's what they say when the victim is Black. I'm just being real with you. When the victim is Black, it's why didn't they follow instructions? Why didn't they just comply with the officer? Why do these people feel like the rules don't apply to them? Give me a 1 in the comments if you agree. But when it's an illegal immigrant, oh, he was a loving father. He was taking his child to school. Yes, ICE told him to stop his car, and he refused to do that and attempted to drive off and weaponize his car against law enforcement. But you know what? That doesn't matter. In these instances, the rules should be suspended because I don't like the optics of the situation. That's what we're dealing with. Now, I'm the first person to tell you, if a Black person, I don't care what skin color they are, I think the rules should apply to everyone equally. If the cops pull me over, get out the car, I'm getting out. Get on the ground, I'm on the ground. And I'm legally here. Why would I be dumb enough to give somebody exemption from the rules that make this country safe? A person I don't know, they really shouldn't be here. I don't know what they were doing in their country before they got here. None of these people, none of the liberals who defend these people could tell you. I don't know what they're doing in their spare time while they're here, because I'm sure Lincoln Riley, Jocelyn Nungary, and the list goes on, right? I'm sure when they viciously attacked and murdered those people, an hour before that, they were just walking through society and no one knew what they were up to. You have to listen to law enforcement. I'll tell them, just like I tell my kids, just like I tell my friends, you cannot argue a case in the middle of the street. The only thing you can do is comply with what are lawful orders based on the authority bestowed upon them by the federal government, right? You have to obey. Why is it that we have to obey and follow the rules, but these people are above the rules? That's the only question I have to ask. And when you engage with people or encounter this topic throughout the day, it's very simple. Are you telling me, this is what I will say to any liberal, because I'm going to be in the middle with this one. Are you saying that illegal immigrants should be above the law? No, I'm just saying there should be a path to citizenship. There is a path to citizenship. They chose not to take that path. The lawful, rightful punishment for that is deportation. And they are obligated, as people who are on our land, America, our soil, they are obligated to listen and comply with lawful orders given to them by law enforcement. If you can point out where law enforcement overstepped their authority in this situation, I will tell you, I will be on your side and I will defend this illegal immigrant, Johan Guerrero, to my last breath. But you can't. Stop your car means stop your fucking car. Get out the car means get out the car. We already know you are illegal because we've been surveilling the house. We don't know you. We don't know what you got going on. What we do know is that we have the authority to do the job that the local law enforcement refused to do. And if you refuse to do a job, one of the things I learned when I was younger, if you refuse to do something, you have no right or room to criticize how someone else does the job. You had the opportunity. If the people of Maine want all the illegal immigrants handled with kid gloves, and they want them to be given all the treatment and love, why aren't they putting their local law enforcement in charge of apprehending the illegals and turning them over to ICE? That's the way it was for decades. That's the way it was under Obama. But now these people have purposely created a volatile situation. They basically told the illegal immigrants, hey, you guys are above the law. If ICE gives you order, you don't have to listen to them. If they take you, they're kidnapping you, and that's wrong. They've emboldened these people, but they've emboldened them based on pure ignorance and disregard for the law of the land. So why are you surprised that something bad is happening? If the ICE agent says this guy ignored our lawful order and tried to speed off, do you know how many people have been killed by vehicles with somebody trying to react hysterically and drive recklessly to avoid the consequences of their actions? He knew he was an illegal immigrant. He knew there was a chance he would be deported if he came into contact with ICE. Bro, once you see ICE in there in your rear view, the only thing you can do is pull over and face the consequences of your actions. You got these people saying, well, he had a visa to work here. Okay, so why didn't he stop? Every excuse these people make point at the fact that at the end of the day, these people are fighting for a two-tiered justice system. That's what this is. I don't want you to confuse it. I don't want you to believe that it's something it's not. I don't want you to be disillusioned. These people are fighting for a two-tier justice system. All the poor people, black minorities, etc., who are under a certain income, they have to follow the rules. Rich elites, whether they're black, white, blue, or green, and their illegal immigrant slaves are above the rules. The massa and his new slaves are above the rules, and everybody who is too poor to be somebody massa has to live under the rules and follow them. I want you to understand that. That's the way it was in antebellum slavery. Back in the day, chattel slavery, the rules didn't apply to the richest. And the slaves of the richest were exempt from the rules because the rules didn't apply to their massa, right? Right? We've watched movies back in the day. Slave go in a certain part, you ain't supposed to be in here. Well, massa, whatever, sent me. So if you don't give me what he want, he gonna be mad. You know what? He's rich. This is his slave. The rules don't apply to them. Give him what he wants and send him on his day. This is what they're trying to create. The Democrat Party needs a new set of slaves to work for damn near nothing in the economy that they wish to build, which is based on tax and spend policies, where they take everything from you and they expect you to be happy. Now, there's this debate that happened between Adam Mockler and a lady on CNN. And I want you to take what I just told you, what I've just said.
First, our top story for you tonight.
And I want you to think about, let what I said play over in your mind. And I haven't watched this debate. I'm going to watch it for the first time with you. But I wanted to debate Adam Mockler, but he was a coward back when I was on No Jumper. I debated Destiny, whooped him with just common sense because he's an idiot or he's a gaslighter and he's a liar. And I came into contact with Adam Mockler through No Jumper. After seeing my debate with Destiny, he literally pulls out his phone because the guy at No Jumper says, hey, he debated Destiny. He watches my debate with Destiny and says, oh, I don't have time. I'm booked solid. Well, you have time to sit at No Jumper for hours. And at the time I was working at No Jumper. So how is it that all of a sudden you don't have time for a debate when, bro, that's what you do. That's literally what you do. But of course, they don't want to debate anyone with common sense. These people look at somebody who has common sense and they see an enemy. They see someone who can pull back the veil on the lies that they constantly tell in an attempt to cover up the facts in their true intention. These people are deceptive. Guys, this channel is all about accountability. Everyone needs to be accountable for their actions. And if you are an illegal immigrant who came into this country illegally, when you see ICE in your rearview mirror, what you see is accountability. And what you don't have the right to do is put the lives of American citizens in danger because you don't want to deal with the consequences of your actions. And why anybody would get in the street and march and yell and hoop and holler for someone to be allowed to legally or lawfully avoid the accountability for their actions. It tells me that this person is not doing what they're doing because they truly believe in what they're marching for. It tells me that this person has been programmed. They are politicizing the situation, and they are willing to disingenuously go after our government, destroy our country because they don't like who's in charge. The rules, when Trump's dead, Biden's dead, the rules still will be here. And if there's air in my lungs, I will still preach that the rules should apply to everyone. Why are they above the rules? But you have to follow the rules. Why do you have to tell your children, hey, if the police tell you something, you listen? Yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. They tell us that these people will save America. They tell us these people are the best America has to offer. But it's a lie. They're not coming here to live up to our standards. They're here. They're being allowed to flood this country because there are people within our government who are attempting to lower the American standard. Because once your values become so low, at a certain point, your values are no good. And the people with no values and no standard of excellence, they are easy people to not only control, but they're easier people to enslave.
For the second time in less than a week, there's been a deadly ICE-involved shooting.
This is more proof that ICE, in its current form, is a rogue agency incompatible with the current constitutional order of the United States. We cannot live in...
Now listen, this is a 20-year-old dude. No kids, no wife, no family, no nothing. He literally verbatim repeats Democrat talking points. No original thought, just a script that he regurgitates to a bunch of young kids who are emotionally charged because they don't like the optics of the situation. But let me tell you this before you listen to this boy lie. 24, okay. Let me tell you before you listen to this boy lie. I'm going to ask y'all a question as the audience. If the police pulled Adam Mockler over right now, he leaves CNN studio. The police pull him over. They blurp him. Is Adam Mockler going to say, I'm rich and white, I don't have to deal with this shit, and attempt to drive and speed off and engage in a high-speed chase? No. Adam Mockler is going to pull his car over. If the police ask Adam Mockler to step out of the car, he's going to do it. If they say, Adam, lay on the ground, we're going to search you, he's going to comply. If they put him in handcuffs, he's going to get in the car, go to jail. If they let him go free, he's going to get up and go free. He is literally trying to argue for a group of people to be allowed to do something in this country that he wouldn't even do. That's like me saying, hey, everybody in the country should be forced to eat rat poison, but I'm not going to eat it. That's like Jim Jones. Everyone has to drink the Kool-Aid, but did Jim Jones drink the Kool-Aid? No. These people are so far gone, they're not even arguing rules for thee, not for me. They're arguing rules for people who are citizens that people who are illegal immigrants don't even have to acknowledge or live up to. Once you can get past that, then a conversation can begin.
A constitutional republic with an agency that has basically immunity to go around in masks and to murder both U.S. citizens, legal immigrants, anybody that they want. Beyond Alex Preddy, beyond Renee Good, even beyond the cases we've seen in the past week, they use the same excuse every time. This person tried to ram me with their car. We actually had one case in Chicago with someone named Martinez, a teacher from a Chicago school. She was shot 5 different times.
We don't care about Martinez. We want you to prove. I want this guy to do. When he says they use this same excuse, they say people tried to ram them with their car. I want him to pull up the footage of Renee Nicole Good from every angle. I want him to watch this woman hit a federal agent with her car. And then I want him to explain, once he looks at the medical report and the medical bills, I want him to explain how they are lying. If someone hits you with their car, that's what they did. And if one person gets hit with the car, if I'm an ICE agent, I'm like, this other person might hit me with a car. He can't say they're lying. He's saying they use this as an excuse. Someone attempting to take your life or putting your life in danger with a vehicle, that's a good excuse to shoot them. But he doesn't engage the situation at the root cause. Why are you not listening to the lawful order of law enforcement? Why are they telling you to stop and get out the car and you're attempting to speed off? See, he only wants to engage this situation at the point where he has what he believes to be footing for an argument. And this is not true journalism, because you're never going to hear Abby Phillip, who is the head of the show. You're never going to hear her say, well, Adam, we have proof that the lady hit the federal agent. Why aren't these people obeying lawful orders? Whether you agree with ICE or not, as a citizen or a non-citizen visitor or illegal immigrant, you are obligated by law to obey the lawful order of police officers and law enforcement. No one's going to point out the elephant in the room.
After they said that she tried to ram her car, but when they got the body camera footage showed the exact opposite. And then text leaked saying, I shot 5 times and she had 7 holes. Like a despicable, disgusting thing coming from ICE agents. Guess what the punishment for that ICE agent was? Nothing. He's still.
Yeah, because what does what he texts have to do with anything? What does, oh, she didn't, and it was the opposite. That's what you say. I don't see any video footage planned by him to prove anything he's saying. That's your opinion. And these people present their opinion as facts, but they don't present evidence behind me. When I talk, when I speak and I make a point, I recall things that we all know. We've all been pulled over, ladies and gentlemen. We've all dealt with law enforcement. And we know that if you don't obey law enforcement, something bad can happen. Why are we surprised that these people are not obeying law enforcement and bad things are happening? They're not even doing what like black people do, where black folks will just be resistant to what they're saying. Look, you want me to get out the car? I'm not getting out. That's called resisting. These people are going on offense. They're saying, look, F you, I don't have to listen to you, and I'm going to weaponize my vehicle against you. And the 24-year-old young rich man with zero life experience other than gaslighting people online and then coming to CNN to make clips to go viral is going to tell you, no, you're wrong. All you people who've been living in this country for decades are wrong. Me, who's been on this planet for 2 decades, most of that as a child, I know the way things should go. And no one here is going to say, well, Adam, at what point do we just say, fuck law enforcement? Why are we paying these people to roam around the cities of America? Why are my taxpayer dollars going to these people's bank account if they basically have no power to do anything at all? And no one has to really listen to them. You can listen to them when you feel like it. Go show me the country that you are trying to model the United States after, where people don't have to listen to law enforcement. These people will defend Gestapo tactics like what goes on in the UK, where law enforcement comes in your house and arrests you because of a post that you made on social media. But they'll say that ICE protecting American citizens in an atmosphere where these people are viciously raping and murdering and killing American citizens, the illegals, they're saying that that's not lawful to do. Where do you live, Adam?
On the streets over and over and over.
So just one thing that's actually notable, and it's a little bit different in this sense, because this statement from ICE does not suggest that the agent thought his life was in danger. It explicitly does not say that, which is very different from what they've used in other incidents. And for that reason, when CNN spoke to some law enforcement sources who said, Every law enforcement officer in America is scratching their head trying to figure out what that means. What does it mean that he was a threat to public safety that warranted, it seems like, at least 5 shots in the windshield of that vehicle? And when you want to arrest someone, this is a good example of how to do everything wrong. So there is there's the question of legal and illegal immigration, and then there's an issue of.
And so Abby Phillip, what she does best, she makes a stupid point that makes no sense. If you're going to arrest someone, this is the way to do everything wrong. Guys, the first thing, and look, you already got a stupid black person in here. It's this, let me tell you, this is how dumb a lot of black people are. This dummy, his daddy, his mama, and everybody in his family would get slaughtered in the street by police if they did what this illegal immigrant did. He's arguing. This guy right here, who's literally being replaced and displaced by illegals right now, right? You have black people arguing for another group of people who aren't even citizens to be exempt from the law that they have to live under, that they complain about living under every single day. They will exhaust your ear complaining about law enforcement ain't fair, the police, this and that, they doing this to us. Well, here's my thing. If I have to live under it, why does someone else get to be exempt from it? When you're dealing with a lot of black people are lawless. They don't care about rules or the law. Just look at what just happened earlier today. You got a black guy and his girlfriend slaughtered her whole family. Literally got guns, went in and just murdered her whole family for no reason. They're going to do the rest of their life in prison if they're not dead already. Carmelo Anthony, he killed someone. He's going to do a long time in prison. He's black. The dummies who live under the law, right? They argue so another group of people who aren't even citizens can be above the law. In the same way they do that, they'll vote for the illegal immigrants represent the greatest threat to the black community. This is based on studies done under Barack Obama. So every black person knows that unchecked illegal immigration disproportionately affects African Americans in a negative way. Every black person knows that. At the same time, you have black people fighting for this to happen because black America has developed a suicidal political narrative. We know that this hurts us because these people come in and compete with us for jobs, housing. One of the reasons why there's so many, there's like 32,000. I live in LA, and not to get off track, let me say this to you. Black people only represent 8% of the population of Los Angeles County. Black people represent 32% of the homeless population. If you go to Skid Row right now, downtown LA, 15 minutes from me, everybody down there is black. Every single person on Skid Row is black. Go look at the videos on YouTube. Come to LA and go down the street. Every Skid Row is the highest concentration of black people in LA County, right? Now, we're going to say this. They're homeless. They don't got a place to live. Do you think it would be easier for us to find them a place to live if there weren't 2 million illegal immigrants currently living in LA who are occupying at least 1 million homes? If you have 72,000 homeless black people in LA County, and there are 1 million homes being taken up by illegal immigrants, if you deport half of those illegal immigrants, that opens up 500,000 homes for those 72,000 homeless black people to go into. But they'll say that I'm a coon because I think that black people who are American citizens should have a right to the resources and benefits of this country over illegal immigrants. They have their whole own country to go build in whatever way they want to. But I'm the coon. See, this is what I'm telling you. When even Malcolm X said, these people have you so spun up, you'll be calling your enemy your hero and your hero your enemy. Black people are like, yeah, let's vote Democrat so they could keep doing things that hurt us. And if you don't vote for them, you're a traitor. So I'm a traitor if I don't vote for the people whose policies are destroying our community. This is the frustration that comes with being black. This is why when black people get money, they move away from other black people. Because at a certain point, you have to separate yourself from stupidity. And you guys are witnessing it right in these comments. This guy, David John, just dumb. Just dumb. He's basically looking at his kids and saying, fuck you. I don't care about your future. Because the Democrats told me to fight for the future of illegal immigrant people who aren't even citizens. You're giving your kids' future to the citizen children of illegal immigrants. I'm telling you, it was better off when black men were just abandoning their kids. Because at least if you abandon them, you can't be so dumb as to give away their future. Now we're kind of staying home, but we're still keeping the ignorant political narratives. And it's just as bad. Let me get back into this.
How law enforcement is being conducted and whether lives are being lost in the process.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of factors here. First and foremost, his immigration status to me does not matter at this point, because whether he was legal or illegal, no one deserves to die. That's a fact. Now, I want to also say this agent, which we're going to find out the facts through hopefully a very thorough investigation, was 100.
I love this lady. I don't care if he was illegal or illegal. No one deserves to die. Him dying had nothing to do with his immigration status. And that's what people don't want to accept. If I run up on the police with a knife and they kill me, was that because I was black? Or was it because this guy was afraid for his life because I was attacking him with a knife? Did they shoot him? And let me tell you this, they're going to make sure they never tell you the identity of the ICE officer, because I bet he's Hispanic. I bet he's Hispanic. These people, that is the great conundrum with the ICE shootings. They can't say it's race related because it's people of the same race. Well, ethnicity, right? We're all humans. That's one race. It's people of the same ethnicity killing each other. The Hispanics got killed by Hispanic dudes, and the white lady got killed by a white man. And so this throws a wrench in the narrative of the Democrat Party, which tries to quantify everything based on race in some type of identity discrepancy or difference. No, you attempt to hit circles and then speed off. The police are going to shoot you to protect their life. This is my thing. If it keeps happening, do you change the procedure of the police to say, hey, just let these people kill you? Or do you tell people, look, if you don't want to end up dying in your vehicle at a traffic stop, do not attempt to run the police over with your car. One keeps everybody safe. The other one makes our world increasingly more dangerous.
Wrong.
No more interruptions.
Abolish ICE is reckless, it's irresponsible, and it's foolish. You're basically saying ICE is whatever you said. I couldn't even listen to what you said at that point.
No one at this table is saying
okay.
that. Yeah,
that's exactly what they're saying.
Let me finish.
Do you think that murder is wrong?
You had your derangement syndrome.
Do you think that murder is wrong?
Some people are saying,
just said.
Now they're using plausible deniability. I didn't say abolish ICE right here, even though as soon as I leave this studio and go back to my channel, I'm gonna say abolish ICE. I'm not like saying abolish ICE right now. So now I'm gonna pretend like I've never said it. What she should have said is, okay, what would you like to see happen with ICE? Oh, they need more training. You could train a cop till doomsday. If he sees a vehicle speeding at him, he will do the same thing every time. Every time.
abolish ICE. Just to sort this out. Some people are saying abolish ICE. Adam did not say that.
Okay, or ICE
Yeah,
is a rogue
okay.
agency.
So go ahead.
Are you fighting with
Say-
someone that's not here right now? I don't know.
No,
who
no,
you're
no.
talking to.
All right, go
I'm
ahead.
saying
Finish
you
your
said
thought,
ICE
Emily.
is a rogue agency.
Wait,
Actually,
do you
I'm
not
fighting
think
with
they're rogue?
you.
Adam,
no, I
Adam,
actually don't.
let me let her
I think
finish
that
her
Biden
thought,
let
please.
millions of people in
That's right.
and an open border. Now Trump is left with that burden to try to deport millions of illegal immigrants. Now say that this agent was horrible. Say that there's 5 ICE agents that are making headlines internationally that are the worst agents in the world. 5 bad eggs and tragic, yes, tragic incidents do not now invalidate the entire purpose of ICE.
There's a
We need
systematic
ICE. I care
cover-up
about the
of these
Americans
murders.
being killed by
Wait,
illegal
there's a
immigrants.
systematic
It is
cover-up
not
of these murders.
systematic.
Yes, the
Every
DOJ
murder makes every
The
headline
DOJ
for
is
weeks
refusing
straight.
to coordinate with
And let me
local
also finish my
investigators.
point, because you said your point. I have never seen this amount of resistance towards authority. We have all, I'm sure, had bad interactions with cops or agents.
There's a cover up. What cover up? The public knows every murder. The public is given body cam footage because usually the body cam footage exonerates the officer. If it was a cover up, how do you know about it? These people can block shit on the internet. We learned that from the Biden administration. All they're doing is throwing all these bullshit claims out, trying to find one that sticks. But you know what's funny about the Democrat Party? Every one of their shields can tell you how amazing they are. But when they get on the campaign trail, the people that are actually running for the position can't. They're going to run on 3 things. Universal health care that we can't afford, right? Universal free housing for everybody, which we can't afford, right? And packing the Supreme Court. That's all these people have. So they're trying to find ground. They're trying to find footing. And every death they see committed by ICE or anybody else, they feel like that gives them footing because George Floyd's death literally delivered the election of Biden, right? And that's black folks being dumb again, right? So they're looking for the next George Floyd. In our society is telling them, hey, you won't get us like you did last time. Because last time we rallied behind you guys over someone's death at the hands of law enforcement, we lost everything. You could sympathize with Democrats. You could sympathize with illegal immigrants. Voting Democrat and supporting their policies is life-threatening. You will not have a country by the time you get done supporting these people because they do not care about you or America. They only care about getting power so they can get back to pilfering American taxpayer dollars and selling American citizens' wealth over to other countries for a personal gain. It's really bad.
Whatever you want to call them. You don't resist authority, and that's a
Well,
thing
you don't know
that
that
we
that's
only
first of all,
see
you
now.
don't know that that's what happened.
I've
here.
seen enough. You mentioned
Well,
you
Alex
know what
and
happened.
Renee.
I
You
mean,
mentioned
look,
plenty of
I'm
people
talking
who were
about- justified?
In fact,
We're-
I
we're-
said that
we're
they were
talking about
resisting.
this
I don't think
incident
anyone
in
deserves
Maine,
to
Alex
die.
Freddie was not
You
resisting.
don't
Hold
resist.
on a second.
First of all, the guy had a gun. You
Wait, they
don't.
took the gun off
That's
of him
already
before they
A.
shot him. You don't know
Yeah,
what
and he
you're
was in
talking about.
radical Facebook
You're
groups.
saying
I don't want to talk
you're
about
saying
any of
these cute
people
talking
because we're
points,
not
but
going to
you just
agree.
said that because he's in
You're
a
not
rap.
Listen, she said the guy had a gun. Oh, yeah, but they took the gun off him before they shot him. You don't know what happened.
This
I don't think
incident
anyone
in
deserves
Maine,
to
Alex
die.
Freddie was not
You
resisting.
don't resist.
Hold on a second.
First of all, the guy had a gun. You
Wait,
don't.
they took the gun off
That's
of him
already
before they
A.
shot him. You don't know
Yeah,
what
and
you're
he was
talking
in
about.
radical Facebook
You're
groups.
saying
I don't want to talk
you're
about
saying
any
these
of
cute
people
talking
because we're
points,
not
but
going to
you just
agree.
said that because he's in a
You're not
radical
talking points.
Facebook group that it's justified.
Alex
You
goes.
don't
He
care about our
spits on
Constitution.
cops. He
Here.
goes to protest.
So because he's in a radical Facebook group and had a gun on him, we're going to believe that he's just doing the right thing. No. And then she said, you don't disobey law enforcement. Abby Phillips says, you don't have proof that he did that. We do. When law enforcement says, stop your car, and then we watch on video this dude driving his car in circles, right? He's not driving straight or backing up. He's going in circles. So if he's going in circles, if he accelerates and just turns his wheel whatever way, he could cream someone. Soon as they say do this and you say no or just refuse to comply, you're disobeying law enforcement. You're breaking the law.
Did not
hold
do
on.
that.
States violent. Yes, he did. There's videos of him spitting
You
on
are
police.
currently
He goes
using
to
talking
protest
points
as
to
a
justify
hobby.
murder.
No, I'm speaking to my
Do
opinion.
you
Because
think
he's
the
dead.
Martinez
Nobody's
case that I
justifying
mentioned
murder.
from Chicago was bad?
I did not hear about that. If that's true, it's horrible.
Wait, do you think that
I
the
don't
cops
think
should be held
murdering-
accountable? Do you think the agents should be
Yes,
held
he
accountable?
should. Do I think ICE should not now?
Okay,
like
so
ICE
then-
is a
so
rogue
then you can
agency
condemn-
because that one ICE agent
Dude,
was
they
messed
violated
up.
100 court orders just in
Emily,
January. Just in
how
January,
many
they
ICE
violated
agents are there?
100
How many
court
ICE
orders.
agents
I don't know. You
exist?
tell me.
I don't know either.
They-
But
why
you're
would
saying
you
that
ask
it's
me
a
that?
rogue agency,
They
so you're speaking
violated
now on behalf of
100
the entire
No,
group who's trying to deport
a
illegal
Republican
immigrants.
judge named Schultz said they violated 100 court orders just in January. That is more court orders than any agency in the history of America has violated. Do you agree with ICE
That's
violating
a
those
lie.
court orders?
No, ICE should not
Okay, so
violate
by
court
definition,
orders,
they're
but
a
ICE
rogue
as a whole, you're
agency.
saying ICE.
You can
ICE
use
is
your
an
talking
Let me let
points.
Emily
You have
have
opinions.
or Ashley have a word.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ashley.
The only person I see using talking points is Adam Mockler. He's trying to introduce all these different examples to justify or validate what he's saying. And it doesn't make any sense because he's lying. Why can't you just talk about this case as a specific incident? This guy disobeyed law enforcement. This guy weaponized his car against ICE. He was shot. The same thing ICE did to Renee Nicole Good is the same thing that happened to Johan Guerrero. The same thing that happened to the two black women who were stealing out of grocery stores. And when police asked them to turn off their vehicle and stop the car, they attempted to plow past the police. These are local police officers, not federal. Pulled out their gun. Boom, 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 boom. Those people were dead. If something happens the same way every single time, the problem is not with the police. The problem is with the people sitting behind the wheel. If I go out right now and try to weaponize my car against a police officer, what do you think they're going to do? If I drive downtown Long Beach right now, see a cop on the side of the road, and actively start trying to run bro over, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to unholster his weapon. He's going to discharge his weapon directly through my windshield until I'm dead. The outcome is totally predictable. And what are the laws of nature? If the outcome is predictable, it can be avoided. This is not even this argument has no legs. This argument is a corpse. But these people will continue to try to breathe life into this situation as much as they can because they have nothing else. And they're trying, and the Senate Democrats are once again trying to withhold the funding for our men and women in our armed forces across the world because they're trying to force the Republicans to abolish ICE. But ICE has already been funded. The Senate Democrats already voted to fund ICE with $70 billion for the next 3 years. So you know when you're not paying attention, they support ICE. But the minute they think they got something where they can drag you into stupidity, now all of a sudden they're against ICE. Why are you against? How are you against a agency that you just voted to give $70 billion for the next 3 years? It's bullcrap.
I hear the point about Joe Biden's immigration policy. He didn't get it right. We can concede that. And so if you're on the right and you think Joe Biden went too far to the left, I think we have to look at what happened and say Donald Trump is going too far to the right.
In respect
And
of
let me
ICE?
now you done told him a couple times to be quiet. Now let me finish. Because in the beginning of the Trump administration and when he was running for office, he told us he was going after violent criminals. We have seen time and time again that is just not the case because the overwhelming number of immigrants in this country are actually not violent. So the premise in and of
That has nothing to do with anything. The overwhelming number of immigrants are not violent. Lady, this ain't a matter of who's violent or who's not. This is one man who made a stupid decision and it cost him his life. Just like Renee Good was one lady who, along with her lover or wife, made a stupid decision and it cost her life. I love this comment. Aliejo Nomo, right? People find it easy to toe the party line until it is they who has to face a force like ICE. What if ICE misjudges you as a possible illegal? Let me break this down for you, ye of little understanding. If ICE tells me to stop the car, I'm going to stop it. If ICE tells me to get out the car, I'm going to get out of the car. If ICE asks for my identification, I will give it to them. If ICE says, you know what, we don't believe this is real, turn around, put your hands behind your back, I'm going to let them do it, and I'm going to let them cart me off to wherever they go, and we're going to handle that once we get to court. Then I'm going to turn around and sue ICE, because in America, you have a right to do that. What part of common sense don't you get? You want people to be above the law in this country, not realizing that that undermines the safety and the very thing that makes this thing a country. What if you face like, bro, I'm not some dude. I used to be in a gang. I've been arrested. I've been to jail. You know what I didn't do when the police gave me a lawful order? I didn't disobey. I don't care if the cop was, I've been arrested by a cop who was 5'2", a little tiny Asian dude. I respected him like he was 6'10". Hey, bro, you know, I'm gonna have to take you to jail. Turn around. All right, cool. Go to jail, went to court. I was out the next day. I wasn't stupid to fight the cop, escalate the situation, and now I'm dead on the side of the road. What are you talking about? You guys, I don't like when people approach others as if other people don't experience things. We can watch a million videos on YouTube of people being arrested, not fighting the cops. We love to watch the videos where they are resisting, but we can watch a million videos of people not resisting being arrested. Bro, there are senators in New Jersey. There were a bunch of congressmen who were arrested. They didn't fight the cops. They actually outranked the cops. But they respect the authority of the cops. They respect the authority of law enforcement. Donald Trump is president, was former president of the United States. When law enforcement said, hey, you got to come down to Atlanta to take a mugshot, did Donald Trump go do it? Or did he say, F you, I ain't got to do it, I'm above the law? We live in a society where even the president isn't above the law in many ways. But we're going to let a bunch of illegal riffraff be above the law in our country? Do you realize how stupid you sound? You're blinded by loyalty because you're a racist. You're a racist. You think because someone is a Hispanic immigrant, they don't have to abide by American law. Everything these people say that we are, that's what they are. They think that because they share the same skin tone as these people should be above our laws. And what I'm telling you is it don't matter what color you are. If your ass is black and you resist arrest, I help the police pin your ass down. Because I understand that by doing so, I'm not only saving your life, potentially. I'm saving you from your own stupidity. And that's what we have to do. Hispanic people should be making it a point to tell other illegal Hispanic people, hey, man, just come here the right way, because they're not playing. They're not playing with you. It don't matter if you don't speak English. It don't matter if you wasn't doing nothing wrong. When they give you that lawful order, follow it. Don't disobey, because you could be dead on the side of the road like Juan or Johan. Y'all won't even do that because y'all really don't give a fuck about those people either. You guys only care about your political narrative. My side wins. But how do you root for a side when even if they win, you're still gonna lose? That's the craziest thing to me.
Itself is false, but it was a helpful campaign tactic. Now, when I used to sit at this table at the very beginning and they would charge into apartment buildings and zip tie little kids, I was told that I was being in Chicago overreacting and that
this lady sounds dumb. There were no kids zip tied. She's a liar. They already proved that there were no kids zip tied. if kids were zip tied, people would be pulling out phones, taking pictures of it in Chicago. These people just repeat lies, hoping you forgot. And we don't forget over here. So this guy, Alijo Nomo, says, so I'm racist because I have compassion for someone detained by a group that has killed others. I want this guy to come up. Can you come up here? Can you do you have a minute? I'm gonna give you the link to. I want this person to come up here. Because if this is the case, we should battle every police arrest. You don't have compassion. You don't want the law. You want to pick and choose when the law applies, which is the ultimate form of selfishness. Because the minute people believe that obeying the law is arbitrary, you can just do it whenever you feel like it. You put all of us at danger. You put all of us at danger. When the police hit the lights behind somebody, could you imagine what would happen if everybody said, you know what, I could just take off speeding to get away? People would get killed. You don't care about anyone. All you care about is how you feel about the situation. That's all you care about. But you don't care about even America. Because if you were a proud American, you would say everyone has to follow the law. I don't like what happened, but everyone has to follow the law. I saw Carmelo Anthony kill that white boy, Austin Metcalf. Sad situation. He needs to go to jail. He broke the law. Why is it that I'm able to put race aside and just go based on the facts of the matter? Johan Guerrero disobeyed a lawful order. The police, who is trained to make the split-second judgment call, more trained than you, who can just watch a video 100 million times in a row and then say, well, I would have did this and I would have did that. Right? You don't know what you would have did because you're not in that moment. You're not in that moment. You're sitting in the comfort of your home watching a video saying what someone else should have did when their life is on the line and not yours. That's BS, man. That is total freaking BS. And I want to show you why I say that. Stop walking around with the mindset of a 12-year-old kid. You're a grown man or grown up. Because I have compassion. You don't. You're a vicious savage who is only mad because the person who you preferred to get away with crime wasn't allowed to get away with it. I want to show you this. Let me see.
Love facing a near to raw, filled here, the cruel, the scene up with
This is not it. Okay. Here it goes.
And chilling new video.
I want to show you this video. And I want you to tell me, I want to put this in perspective for everybody before we move on to the next topic. Okay?
And
because on this channel we show and tell. We show and tell. We prove what we talking about over here. Y'all do what y'all want to do. But over here, I'm going to show you why what you saying don't make no sense. Okay. So look. There's two women here. And I'm going to get the super chats in a minute. If you like what you're hearing, can you help us out? We're asking for $5 super chats just to help support the stream. You can click the super chat link at the bottom, hit $5, send it. We're just asking for 5 super chats of $5 or more just to justify me sitting here. Even though I love sitting here talking, but let's support the stream. Okay. Here we go. So I want you to watch this.
Chilling new video of a dreadful hit and run in Newark. 2 women killed after they stepped into a crosswalk. The video so graphic, We stopped it right there.
Okay. So tell me what these women should have did. Tell me what these women should have done. You want the police officer who is way closer, right? Way closer to the police officers, way closer to the vehicle than these ladies are. These women had, like, I would say at least 50 feet to get out the way. But you want a police officer who's 3 to 4 feet away to have like some type of heroic barrel roll out the way action. No, the guns are already out because the guy's not obeying. And once he starts to aim the car at you, he's done. Look,
hit and run in
happens
Newark.
every day.
2 women killed after they stepped into a crosswalk. The video so graphic, we stopped it right there.
What should they have done? But this is what happens when people don't follow the law. Now, you'll look at this situation and say, the person driving this car deserves to go to jail. But because you hate ICE, you'll say that the person doing the exact same shit to ICE agents, they were justified in doing what they did because they were scared. No, they weren't. You cannot weaponize a vehicle. They literally do. When they give you a license, they tell you this. Driving is a right, not a privilege. I mean, a privilege, not a right. You don't ever weaponize your car. You don't ever drive your car. Even when there are pedestrians around you, you're supposed to stop your damn car. You know that. You're not dumb. No one's dumb. You will just justify any and everything because you don't like Trump. But Trump is not in the field keeping Americans safe. Trump is not taking illegal immigrants out the country. He's in the White House. And regular men and women who could very well be Democrats and support you are working for ICE. They're doing their job. And they have a right in this country to work and be safe. And anybody who breaks the law should be held accountable. There are no exceptions. There are no exceptions. I'm going to watch this one more time because I want y'all to see what happens when you let when people have no regard for the law, like Johan Guerrero.
Killed after they stepped into a crosswalk. The video so graphic.
This is lawlessness. This is lawlessness. This is Mad Max type crap. This is Judge Dredd type crap. People are just doing any and everything because no one's doing anything about it. That makes all of us less safe. A lot of this stuff is going on because of y'all defund the police. Y'all defunded the police and made the cities less safe. Now, we got another bright idea. Let's defund ICE. What's that going to do? That's going to make the country less safe. This is defund the police 2.0. And it's going to have the same type of consequences, but just on a larger scale. We're not listening to you. We're not listening to you. You got us once. You tricked us once with your George Floyd defund the police bull crap. And it cost us big time. Not only did our cities get destroyed by people who look like me, idiots. Man, you guys don't even know how pissed off I was because I knew some of the people who were doing the looting and stuff. And these black folks was trying to make it seem like this was some type of civil rights and George Floyd didn't deserve to die. Man, those dudes was stealing, looting, and selling this shit on OfferUp and Craigslist. They didn't give a damn about no George Floyd. I saw my friend. I had my Land Cruiser. I'm driving over sidewalks during the looting, just trying to document and see shit. Man, my friends tell me, hey, bro, we going to Vegas after this. We about to sell this stuff online and go to Vegas. They were just stealing. It pissed me off. I said, they don't care about George Floyd. They're using George Floyd's death as an excuse to do crime and loot. And that's exactly what these people are doing with this situation. They are looking for another George Floyd moment so they can have an excuse to destroy our country. And when you destroy our country, that hurts everybody. It doesn't just hurt the rich. The rich don't even get hurt at all. The police block you and won't even let you go into their neighborhoods to destroy. I think Beverly Hills got hit once, and they probably let that happen so they could collect the insurance money. Go look at Newport Beach. I don't know if you guys know about what happened at Newport Beach down here in California. About Newport Beach, about 10 minutes from me down the street. People went in Newport Beach, destroyed Newport Beach. The next day, Newport Beach looked like brand new. I kid you not. The next day, Newport Beach looked brand new. The grocery store got raided. The next day in the morning, that store was fully stocked. Even the ground was cleaned up where they had food and everything on the ground outside. Rich people easily recover from this stuff. When we destroy our neighborhoods and our communities, it takes us years to recover. Sometimes we never recover. Go to George Floyd Square in Minneapolis. Still looks like shit. Business is still boarded up. 4 years later. 6 years later. No, we're not going to let you do that. We're not going to let your emotionalism destroy our country. We live here too. It's not fair to us. I don't care what CNN and them say. I bet you they won't come live next door to you. Period. Okay, so we're going to go to the next topic. I hope you guys, hey, give me a 1 if you enjoyed that topic. Give me a 2 if you hated it. If you feel like I added value to your day, and if you're at work, give me a like and tell me what you do for a living. I'm reading the comments. Give me a like and tell me what you do for a living. Let me get these super chats. Guys, I know I have like a little congestion, man. I'm kind of like, dude, I'm drinking tea out of my Hello Kitty cup. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. But yeah, we in here. I might start going at 8 every day. We could just chill in the morning. I am a morning person. I'm always up. Okay, so let me go down. This should be so easy, but it's always hard. Okay, super chats. Get your super chats in if you have a point that you want to make about this conversation that you want to be read live. My boy Jason Beatrice, my day one. What up, brother? How you doing this morning? Who is the healthiest 80-year-old president in U.S. history? Trump. People talk about Trump. Y'all do know Mitch McConnell is only 84 years old. Bro on his last leg. Lindsey Graham just died. Bro just dropped dead. Trump is doing pretty good from where I'm sitting. Thank you, Jason, for the $5 holler. Guys, we only got 4 $5 super chats to go. Help us meet our goal. $2 holler for my boy Jason. Jeremy can't save the Democrat Party online. It's true. It's true. Man, listen. Online is online, but people are living every day. And the majority of Americans do not want people coming into our country unvetted, especially in this global climate. I don't understand how people, protest and go out and act a fool for something that if it actually is implemented, it will just make our country less safe. You really want to, we just bombed the crap out of Iran, the #1 state sponsor of terrorism in the world. And you guys want to get rid of ICE? The people who actually make sure people don't come into this country to blow us up? It's like these people have forgotten 9/11. And I'm telling you, most of these, Mockler and all these dudes weren't even born during 9/11. Or they were like very little kids. And I noticed that everyone with their sentiment kind of has that same thing in common. You didn't have to wake up about to go to school, and when you turn the TV on, you think you're watching a movie, but it's real, and the Twin Towers is on fire. And then the things collapse right in front of you. You didn't have to deal with that stuff. Y'all didn't have to deal with this stuff. But you guys quickly forget. I'm never going to forget. We support Trump because Democrats really suck for America. No, I agree with you. You don't even have to support Trump to understand that the Democrats have no policies. Let's just be in the middle. Let's just be independents today. Name one Democrat policy that they are proposing that is actually good for America. Universal health care. I've broken down why universal health care won't work 1,000,000 times. I've showed you clips of James Carville and Al Hilton. I think his name was Al Hilton or something. I've played you video of them, Democrats, hardcore Democrat analysts and strategists, saying America is not ready for socialism. I mean, not socialism, for universal health care because we can't afford it. That's like, imagine you at home and you with your mom and daddy. And your parents are like, who do you like the best? And your mom says, if you say me, I'll buy you a pony. And dad is like, I know what's in her bank account and I know what's in my bank account. And we cannot afford a damn pony. As a kid, you would be justified for still saying, mommy's our favorite because she's going to buy me a pony, and just being dumb because she can't buy you a pony. But when you're an adult, right, you have to think like an adult based on the facts. How are you still voting for a party based on them offering you something that we cannot afford? Please tell me. Bernie Sanders, we're trying to be like Norway, Denmark. The damn president of Denmark came out and said, Bernie, stop talking about us. You're nothing like us. You're not even trying to be like us. And you bringing us up in your conversations is driving business away from the country because we're not socialists. We're capitalists who just tax people, who just tax the middle class 60%. Victor Bester, I think I like the way you think, homie. And I was there. I was out there. Hey, bro, black man got to use his brain. Stop thinking with his feet, with his foot, putting his damn brain in his shoe. Thank you. I appreciate the $2 holler, man. I F with your speaking points. Hey, one thing about me, I don't change. I damn near cannibalize my whole audience because I wouldn't get on board with stupidity with them, you know? And that's okay. If that's the way, God arranged it for me, that's the way that's the way it's going to be. But I will never compromise my integrity to regurgitate and perpetuate lies up here. It's never going to happen. I guess I'll just die with a small YouTube channel. But thank you so much for the $20 holler. I appreciate that. Tell him dirty gross. That's why Adam Mockler's opinions are relevant. Yeah. I'm telling you, I wanted to set up the debate with bro. When I was at No Jumper, he was scared. I debated Destiny. I like Destiny. He's a cool dude. His talking points are not what he really thinks. They just understand that there's a script that they can regurgitate. And if they regurgitate that script, young, dumb people with no responsibility will make them rich through views. And old people who have passed the best years of their life and are living comfortably off of a pension will agree with them because they don't have to live with the consequences of their decisions. Thank you, Victor Bester. I appreciate that. Hey, please be like Victor Bester. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. We got like 61 people in here. Let's get 60 likes. The more you guys like, the more these videos get spread. YouTube hit me hard because I posted some content that they didn't like. So they don't want to push me through the algorithm. Last week on one video, I did 78,000 views on a live. And then I followed up with 42,000 and 33,000 and, like this. This week, I posted one video. I'm not even going to mention it because I don't want them to flag this video. And they tanked me. I can't even get over 1,000 views this week. But he who giveth taketh away. And I'm okay with that. I'm not tripping. Adam Mockler would get destroyed. He can't. Hey, the agent, come up here. I'm gonna give you the link. Come up here and tell me how Adam Mockler would destroy me. You won't be able to, because I don't play kid games. I have a family. Adam Mockler destroys people who don't have families. Because someone with a family could just say, okay, if you had a son, would you tell your son that? Because I would have looked Adam Mockler dead in his eyes and said, so Adam, if you drove out of here and the police hit you with the lights, what you gonna do? You gonna disobey, drive in circles and not get out the car? Or you gonna pull your little lily white ass over and follow every instruction that they give you? Don't tell me about what this person should be allowed to do. Tell me what you would do. And the debate would be over right there. Everybody at this table lying right now, because every last person at the table would comply with the lawful orders of the police officers. So why is everybody in here saying that illegal immigrants should not have to live according to those rules? Why are you trying to make us second-class citizens in our own country? Debate over. Debate over. The truth never has to run from a lie. And Adam Mockler is a pure liar, straight up. Okay, so we're going to move on, guys. Stick with me. Trump is risking committing war crimes in Iran. Is he? That's the question. Is he? Because a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying that Trump is running the risk of committing war crimes due to his actions in Iran. He now says that he's going to bomb the power plants and the bridges. Some people say that this violates laws against war crimes because it directly hurts the civilian population. But I don't know. I know Trump has a lot of advisors around him. I'm sure they're advising him of what he can and can't do as far as war is concerned. But what's really blowing everybody away right now is what was said by what's his name? Oh, Marco Rubio. Because Marco Rubio is going, he's going commando on these dudes. He's basically saying that he's going to defy the International Criminal Court if they try to do anything that negatively affects Donald Trump or the United States. I love Marco, man. Marco Rubio is the Secretary of State we didn't know we needed. Let's go.
For 250 years, Americans have governed ourselves as a free and sovereign people. We choose our own leaders, we determine our own laws, and when we're accused of a crime, we stand for judgment before a jury of our own peers. This is the essential and indispensable feature of our form of government. It is the foundation of our shared way of life. But today, powerful people in faraway places want to take that away from us. They believe that they should be in charge of your laws, of your country, your life, and they don't care whether or not you agree. Halfway across the world, there's an institution that calls itself the International Criminal Court. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. But chances are you don't know the names of its judges, of its prosecutors, or its president. And you shouldn't have to. But as we speak, the ICC and its friends are waging a war against our country, not with bullets or missiles, but with statutes and compacts and the force of so-called international law. When the ICC was born 24 years ago, they told us that it was merely a narrow backstop, a global court that would step in to prosecute only the gravest offenses, things like genocide and war crimes, and only when a nation's courts were unable to prosecute them on their own. But the truth is, it was something far more radical and extreme. It was a global tribunal staffed by unelected globalist bureaucrats who claim their power is almost unlimited. The danger of this global court has only continued to grow. Today, it threatens every aspect of our political and legal system. Border Patrol agents removing violent criminals from our country, American Marines risking their lives to defend our homeland, prosecutors working to dismantle terrorist plots to attack and kill Americans. If we stand idle, all of them would be at the mercy of foreign judges thousands of miles away, facing the constant risk of prosecution and even imprisonment for the so-called crime of defending their own country. The American people never agreed to any of this, and they never will. Read the words of our Declaration of Independence. We fought a revolution against a foreign power, transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses. Independence is our birthright. We will never let foreign bureaucrats take that away from us. This administration will not sit by as the ICC and its allies seek to threaten our people. If they believe they can deprive us of our sovereignty, we will teach them the full meaning of American resolve.
Hey, man, Marco. I mean, he told him he ate and left no crumbs, as they say, man. This dude is, this is true. Why does some judicial body, who appointed these people? Who elected these people? I know no American had a say in these people being elected. We live in a republic, a representative democracy, well, republic with, with Democrat elements of democracy, right? We elect the people who represent us and who judge us. Some judges are appointed, but for the most part, our judges are elected. Who the hell is Tomoko Akane? Who is that? I never heard of this dude. This dude ain't from my hood. Why should he get to say what happens to our president? Who is Rosario Salvatore? Who's Renee Alapini Gansu from Benin? Who's Salome Balungi Bosa from Uganda? Who's Kimberly Prost in Luz del Carmen Ibanez Carranza? Joanna Corner from the United Kingdom. Somebody from Georgia, right next to Russia. Mexico, Costa Rica. There's not even a single person from the United States on this court. So you want the most powerful country in the world to submit to a court where it has where you don't even give it representation? This is the dumbest thing ever. This is a joke. This is a joke, just like Adam Mockler. This is a joke. What the hell? I do not know why, but it seems like there's a significant contingent within America that they hate the fact that America's powerful. And they'll do everything in their power to give over America's power to people who were basically unwilling to work hard enough to become as powerful or more powerful. But these same people, they wouldn't give their car to somebody because that person doesn't have a way to work. They wouldn't give their house to a homeless person because that person doesn't have a place to live. They wouldn't even let the homeless person come sleep in their backyard in a tent. You know how homeless people post pitch tents everywhere? I've always wondered, why don't these liberals just let the homeless people pitch up their tents in their backyards? Out of sight. No one can see them. And they wouldn't be downtown crapping on the sidewalk. You got so many do-gooders. You have so many bleeding hearts. But with all these 70 million bleeding hearts, 70 million people voted for Kamala Harris. There's not 70 million homeless people in America. So why don't these people just get together and form a coalition and fix all these problems that they care about so much? Why is it that they want to force other people to live under the rules, the draconian policies and rules that they support? I always tell people who talk about socialism and stuff, well, why don't you start socialism right now and give me $20? And if you do that, then I'll be more willing to listen to you when you try to persuade me into believing that socialism is good. But they'll never do it. They'll never do it. There's no way in hell the United States should be capitulating to the demands of any court that is not elected by her people or appointed by our leadership apparatus. They didn't do the work. How the hell are we going to take somebody who didn't do the work and put them in charge? That's like somebody coming in and saying, hey, I didn't do anything to help this company become successful. But with no vetting process and no interview, you should just make me the CEO. No, the board of directors, the owners of the company, have to talk to the person to make sure they're qualified. We don't even know these people. Most of the places where they come from, the average American couldn't even find on a map. But we're supposed to let these people arrest our troops and arrest our president? Are you stupid? Go get Benjamin. They listen. Let me tell you what a fucking joke this is. You got Vladimir Putin who then invaded Ukraine. He right there where y'all at, and y'all can't get him. You got this boy, what's his name? What's the one from Venezuela? Maduro. He's over here doing all types of crap. Bankrupting this country, people starving. They didn't go get him. You have Ayatollah Khamenei. May he rest in peace. These people right now in Iran are beheading women. They've killed 52,000 women in 4 months. But the ICC isn't going to get them. Let me tell you something. This is exactly the environment they want to create in America. The reason why third world shitholes are third world shitholes is because of corruption. But more importantly, it's because of unequal distribution of justice. One group of people are above the law, and another group of people are under the law. And the ICC is an example of the third world incompetence that it allows to sit on its board. Because how in the hell are you telling me you got the gall, the unmitigated gall, to go after Donald Trump, saying that he's committing war crimes or he's violating some type of international law, but you didn't go after Maduro, you didn't go after Putin, you didn't go after Khamenei or his son, who's currently beheading women and beating them. You didn't go after Little Rocket Man, Kim Jong Un. What's it? Kim Il Sung? No, that's the granddaddy. I think it's Kim Jong Il or Un, one of them. Him. You're not going after Xi Jinping for his human rights violations against the Uyghurs, against the Tibetans, right? You know, some guy, he just set himself on fire in protest of the CCP. Or the aggression against Taiwan. See, the rules only apply to the suckers who are dumb enough to actually acknowledge the rules. And that's the way the liberals who would love for the ICC to come in and snatch the president and arrest him. That's the same environment they want to create in America, where the rules only apply to the people they want the rules to apply to, but the people they like are exempt. This is exactly the environment they're trying to create in America. And because we won't let it happen, we're evil, we're bigots, we're racist, all this crap that they say. Why in the hell would you go after the president of the United States before you go after literal dictators and communists who are destroying their countries? That's what I want you to make sense for me. Why would you do that? I don't think Trump's committed any war crimes. I think Iran's been cruising for a bruising for a long time. And Trump is giving them the ass whooping that they deserve. That's what I believe. Now, you don't have to agree with me. And I respect your opinion if you don't agree with me, right? But it is what it is. We're in it now. And since we're already in it, guess what? I'm rooting for my country. I'm rooting for my country and my kids' safety. You root for whoever you want to. But I'm telling you, I'm with America because this is where I was born. Let's go right here. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's go here first.
Do you have any questions about this, first of all, most importantly? Anybody want to talk about this? Yeah, Jeff, go ahead.
I've got one on Iran too, but I'll start with this. Just you said that 70% of the land was federal. Was there any other way to turn this around? How is it that I guess my question is how did it get there if it's a state?
Go ahead. Do you want to discuss that, please?
The land ownership is what it is. But under the Antiquities Act, 120 years ago, Congress made the decision to give presidents the power to designate by executive proclamation.
And again, maybe respected more than ever before. So I appreciate the question, but that's pretty much it.
Mr. President, thank you. Cameron R.
Avenue, it's going to be something that he was tough, but he was but we're hitting him very heavy tonight, as you know, so it's terrible. I just want to pay our respects.
Mr. President, you mentioned that Iran has agreed to a deal and walked away from it. Have you reached the conclusion that a negotiated settlement won't be able to happen?
No, I never reached that conclusion, but we're hitting him very heavy tonight, as you know. We're hitting him. We have tremendous amounts of ammunition. We have numbers that we haven't had in years, and we're hitting them very hard, and it'll continue, and we'll see what happens. But we're knocking out all of their offensive capability, and we're controlling the straits. We're putting the blockade back, and it's a blockade not for anybody but Iran. In other words, anybody doing business with Iran can't go through. Everyone else will be able to go through. So it's a blockade. It's a very strong blockade. The blockade was probably more effective even than hitting them, but I think the combination is the thing that really does it.
But do you think a deal is still possible? Do you think they'll return to that?
Yeah, I think a deal is possible. Sure, I do.
But Mr. President, you noted the United States is bombing Iran again. I mean, you've been bombing Iran for months now. Is this just the new normal for the American people?
Well, you know, we're in Vietnam for 19 years. We're here for 4 months. So I think we've done a lot. We've knocked out their Navy in a period of 1 month. We knocked out their Air Force. Their Air Force is non-existent. We knocked out most of their missiles, most of their drones. We knocked out their drone manufacturing capability, about 92%. Their missile capability for manufacturing, we knocked out 89%. And they have a little capability, but they don't have any capability for us. This is almost a military skirmish. Now, with all of that being said, you have to get people that want to make something. We had a deal with them 2 days ago, and then they said, oh, we can't make that deal. We have to negotiate it further. And this is what they've done for 47 years. The difference is nobody negotiated like I do. And this should have been done by Bush and Obama and Biden and people before them, frankly. It's 47 years they've been ripping off everybody and really hurting and killing thousands of people. So they killed 52,000 protesters, but they killed many, many people with Soleimani, who I killed in the first term. Soleimani killed many people, many people, and not only killed, when you see a young former soldier walking around with no legs, no arms, a face that's been horribly hurt, that was done by Iran. That was done by Soleimani. He was a person that was very evil. He was an evil genius. He was.
Yeah, these people don't care, though. The liberals in America, they don't care. We've all seen the soldiers, the men and women from the armed forces. No legs, no arms. You know, the people Obama betrayed and basically made them sitting ducks for terrorists in other countries. They don't care. Oh, you're mad at me because I have compassion for a perfectly healthy, able-bodied man who is an illegal immigrant who is breaking the law. But you don't have compassion for our troops? You don't have compassion for the families who lost loved ones because of these terrorists? You don't have compassion because compassion is blind. Like when you see someone suffering, you feel bad for them. You make a conscious decision to disregard the criminal acts that Iran has committed so that you can hyper focus on what you believe to be our criminal acts being committed by America. And you only believe they're criminal acts because they're being committed by America under the leadership of Donald Trump. That's it. Has nothing to do with how you actually feel about the situation. Because I'm going to be real with you. Most Americans don't give a damn about what's going on in Iran. Their heads peak up when gas prices are high. Look at right now, gas is low nationwide. We still in Iran. Trump just reestablished the blockade on the Strait of Hormuz. But because people's gas is $3, they don't even care. No one's even talking about it. But you're going to tell me, oh, compassion. Compassion would be to blow that dirt rock off the face of the earth so no one else has to die at their hands while they fund terrorism and then try to hide the hand. We're not doing nothing wrong. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You know exactly what you're doing. Gas is not $6, liar. I just bought gas $4.50 and I'm in California. And if we take away the $2 in taxes that the state adds onto it, it'll be $2. Please. Stop lying, just me. But these people defend criminals. They call the good guys the bad guys, and they call the bad guys the bad guys the good guys. And Donald Trump don't play that shit. And that's why they don't. You're a liar. 100% a liar. Because I'm in California. You're lying. Gas is $6.49. Hey. But literally, you know, these people don't care about anything. They just care about Trump derangement. And I don't care if you don't like Trump. You don't have to like Trump. But love your country. Trump will be gone in 2 years. He will be out of here. But will you be able to come back from the damage that you've done to your country in spite of Trump? Because notice when Biden was in office, these people didn't care what happened. Inflation went up to 14%. They didn't make a sound. Now all of a sudden, inflation is 4%. Oh my God. We're fighting a whole conflict. Inflation is under 5%. Unemployment under 5%. The economy is doing well. No one can argue that. Shout out to my girl Latrice. Enter in the building. No one can argue that. But you'll just try to nitpick and try to find anything so you could try to discredit Trump. But in trying to discredit him, you're discrediting yourself. Because you're making up lies, man. Iran, if they wanted peace, guess what? Iran would make a deal. But now Trump has got the memo, right? Trump has got the memo that he is now learning what we all already knew. Iran does not want peace. They not only sponsor terrorism, they are terrorists. And every time you give them an inch, they will use that to try to gain your trust. And like a vicious, predacious animal, they will try to turn on you and bite you as soon as you get close. And we're not dealing with that crap anymore. Those days are absolutely unequivocally over. Hold on. I hear it ringing. I can't find my phone, Doc. Anyway, those days are over. And we're not going back to those days. So I think Trump should just keep bombing them until whatever happens, happens. That's all I could say. But he just took back the toll. But I like what our president is doing as far as that's concerned. But yeah, Trump still even talking about a deal and all that. There's no deal, man. These people don't want a deal. Yeah, $6.49 if you go to like Chevron and buy like premium. But you know Chevron gouges the prices.
President Trump says U.S. strikes will continue in Iran, with each day getting worse than the last. He says he's saving energy targets for last and did reiterate that Iran has no choice but to make a deal. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yangst is at the White House, where he spoke exclusively with President Trump earlier today about his plans for the Middle East. Good evening, Trey.
Yeah, Brett, good evening. President Trump told Fox News that strikes against Iran will continue tonight and expand next week if the Iranians are unwilling to make a deal. Here's more of our exclusive interview from the White House. Mr. President, thank you for speaking with Fox News.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We have seen extensive U.S. strikes against Iran for 3 consecutive nights now. This comes after the Iranians attacked vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. How would you describe what is happening at this moment? Has the war resumed?
Well, I guess you could define it any way you want, but certainly we're beating them up really badly. They have to be beat up. We're hitting them very, very hard. We're hitting every single thing that they have along the shore, along the waterfront. You know, if you look at the Strait of Hormuz, it's now, we're finding it hard to find where they have anything. We have to stop it. We have to keep it open. I was going to charge a fee, but instead they'd rather spend a lot of money in the United States, which frankly is better because I don't like the idea of a fee. It's got to remain free because otherwise others will do the same thing. But I think we've made tremendous progress.
So your objectives are to ensure that Iran never has a nuclear weapon, to keep the strait open, and to degrade the Iranian military. Can those objectives be completed in an air campaign alone, or does this require a ground component?
Well, I think they're completed now, honestly. If we left right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild what they have. The only way you can negotiate with these people is through strength, and the only strength is military strength. And that's what we've done. And I mean, literally 2 days ago, we had a deal, and then they broke it at the last moment. They broke it.
Will these strikes continue?
They'll continue until I say it's enough. I mean, they'll continue. They've been, the word the military likes to use is degrade. They've been degraded to a very low level. And they have fight. You know, it's like a great boxer. You think you have him beat, and then all of a sudden he comes back and he gives you a shot. They have some fight left, but they don't have much. And their weapon degrading has been incredible at a level. Nobody thought it was possible to do it this quickly.
You posted today on True Social comments that you made back in
I don't agree with Trump's assessment. I don't think they have fight. I think they're just too dumb to know when they're beat. There's a difference between somebody who just has, you know, a lot of grit and determination, and you know, and they're still ready, they're still in it, and then somebody who's just dumb. Like, remember that episode of The Simpsons when Homer tried to box and he was beating up people because he would basically just let them beat the shit out of him till they were exhausted. Then he just push them over. That's Iran. They don't care about human life. As long as the elites and oligarchs can fit the country and go sit over in different countries and basically rule and give orders from over there, they're fine. They'll let you keep hitting the country because these people, they know something about decentralization. You think the leadership apparatus of Iran is still sitting in Iran? No, they're not. No, they're not. They probably sitting up in Russia somewhere or sitting up in China somewhere while their people deal with the fallout because they don't care about their people. These people are evil. Now let's look what they say because we got to get to the latest. This is the latest. This is within 1 hour.
As we awake this morning, the conflict with Iran ramping back up. At the moment, U.S. Central Command revealing another wave of strikes against Iran. This time during daylight hours. That's significant. That's the first time that's happened since the conflict started in late February. Most hits have happened at night, if not all of them. This after a fourth straight night of crushing blows, as we say hello from New York. Back in New York City today, I'm Bill Hemmer. Welcome to our coverage. We get underway. Dana, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Dana Perino, and this is America's Newsrooms. Those images are quite stunning, and we're going to have great guests to explain to you what's happening. Because U.S. forces, they are stepping up the pace of the strikes aimed at reducing Iran's military capabilities and especially its aggression against commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz.
So meanwhile, you have the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports now back in effect, looking to choke off the regime's oil supplies, the lifeblood of its economy. Now you have reports emerging the campaign against Tehran is expanding. President Trump telling Fox News and Trey Yinks that Iran will feel the pain.
We have seen extensive U.S. strikes against Iran for 3 consecutive nights now. This comes after the Iranians attacked vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. How would you describe what is happening at this moment? Has the war resumed?
Well, I guess you could define it any way you want, but certainly we're beating them up really badly. They have to be beat up. We're hitting them very, very hard. We're hitting every single thing that they have along the shore, along the waterfront.
Will these strikes continue?
They'll continue until I say it's enough.
And we have a Fox team coverage. Peter Ducey at the White House and Mike Tobin is live in Tel Aviv, and that's where we begin. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Dana. Another round of U.S. strikes is underway as the blockade is now in effect. U.S. aircraft were at it again in Iran overnight, striking targets, and strikes resumed this morning. CENTCOM says the targets are Iranian missile and drone sites, naval capabilities, and coastal defense sites. And this follows 7 commercial ships that have been struck crossing the Strait of Hormuz. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper gave a number we hadn't heard yet. Nearly a dozen civilian crew members killed, missing, or injured by the Iranian strikes. And he added, U.S. forces are holding Iran accountable for unwarranted aggression that continues to endanger innocent lives.
And that's what I'm talking about. They keep on. You know exactly what the United States is talking about. You know exactly what you're doing. You know why we're doing what we're doing. But you are so determined to get a nuke so that no one can stop your sponsoring of terrorism around the world. Now, do I think that Iran will get a nuke and the next day they'll nuke Israel? I don't think that. But I think that I believe Iran will use nuclear power as a deterrent for anyone who seeks to interfere with them. As they bolster their economy, make billions and billions of dollars, and use those billions of dollars to fund terrorism. That's what I believe. And I believe countries like China, they will continue to buy from Iran and turn a blind eye to what Iran is doing with the money. Understand that. They just want the deterrent. But if Iran was truly as good as they say they are, if they were truly virtuous actors like they say they are, why doesn't China just give them a nuke or sell them one? Why doesn't Russia give them a nuke or sell them one? Because everyone in that region knows that the IRGC are a bunch of terrorists. They know that the minute they get a nuke, there's a good chance that they will turn on China and Russia. Because look at what they're doing now. They're getting hit by the United States, right? And every time the United States hits them, instead of attacking the United States back, they're literally bombing what were friendly countries right around them. And now they're on their own because even their Middle Eastern buddies, they're now helping with strikes against them. I heard Kuwait did some strikes on them. So, what more do you want? What more do you want? Give up the nuclear ambition so your people can have a life. Why does that country need nukes? You say you got this decent army and this navy and all this stuff. Well, that's enough. That's enough. What's wrong with what you got? If someone nukes you, that's a threat to Russia and China, who you sit between. I'm sure they'll be happy to nuke that person for you. Yes, you can, Josh Gannon. You can sell nuclear. I mean, it's against the law, but they don't care about our laws. You think China gives a fuck about international law? Do you think Russia cares about international law? This is what I'm trying to get through to you guys. You can sell a nuke. You can sell another country nuclear weapons. But what I'm saying is, once you sell the nuke, what exactly can the ICC do to you? They can't do shit. I mean, but but I'll tell you, so like if you look at countries like Turkey, right? Turkey hosts United States nuclear weapons. So like you can sell nukes. It's illegal, but you can give other countries nuclear weapons. Like, hey, let me hold these here. The United States has nukes in Turkey right now. Turkey is a steward of United States nuclear weapons. You're not understanding. We know that. Dude, what are you talking about? That's what I just said. Look, Phoenix rises. Pay attention. I just said, if Iran was so virtuous and they were so well intended, why doesn't China or Russia just give them nukes? Because they know that Iran is an evil country that is run by a terrorist dictatorship. They know it would lead to nuclear war. They know that. So what do you mean you're not understanding? I understand it just fine. My problem is you have people in America who act like they're too dumb to understand that. Iran's really the good guys. I was arguing with a lady on TikTok the other day. She's like, no, Iran is really the just country in this equation. They're the only ones doing right. I said, doing right? They killed 52,000 people in 4 months. They're literally beheading and beating women in the middle of the street right now for protesting. No, of course, they just babysit the nukes. They do have access. They're sitting in the middle of their country. Turkey, they're in your country. But yeah, so it wouldn't be nothing for the United States to say, okay, here goes the codes and all this, and you set up a system to launch these. They'll have that system done in a week. The problem is Jordan already accepted Palestinians once and almost cost them their country. But yeah, so that's what's going on. Let's keep going.
137 days into this conflict, the president says Iran has been beaten up badly and leaders can be pressured into making a deal, but the dialogue out of Iran is all defiant.
They continue this language, but have they reached their goals on the ground? The people who wanted to run Iran into pieces, what have they reached? We respond in action and protect what we believe in every inch of our soul. The language they are using is worthy of themselves, not us.
And we have video of an Iranian Shahed drone striking a warehouse in Kuwait. Now, Iran has insisted they're not firing at their neighbors, but firing at U.S. targets in those countries. But Bahrainian air defenses went into effect this morning as they took fire. Also, a drone came down in Iraq. No reports of injuries. Dana, back to you.
Thank you. Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv.
So back in Washington now, President Trump said to be holding a situation.
So I want to show you guys something that's cool because, a lot of people are running with this narrative. Oh, Trump's only doing this because Israel. People don't know that Trump has had smoke for Iran since the 80s. Like if Israel gave Trump intel or they nudged Trump towards something to do something to Iran, it didn't take a whole lot of nudging because Trump has literally had it out for Iran since the 80s. Check this out.
About Karg Island. And at the time you said one bullet shot at one of our men or ships, and I'd do a number on Karg Island, I'd go in and take it.
Yeah.
Do you still intend to take Karg Island?
So I can't say that to you because if I did, it would be foolish.
Island, bullet shot.
And degrading has been incredible.
I'm playing it again.
Nobody thought it was possible to do it this quickly.
You posted today on True Social comments that you made back in 1988 about Karg Island. And at the time you said one bullet shot at one of our men or ships, and I'd do a number on Karg Island, I'd go in and take it.
Yeah.
Do you still intend to take Cargyle?
So I can't say that to you because if I did, it would be foolish, right? But it'd be nice to make a little headlines, but it would be foolish. But I'll tell you about Cargyle. And so we've already.
Are you ruling out a ground campaign in a limited capacity?
I don't want to say that either, but I would say no if I thought it was appropriate. I'd say sometimes you need a ground campaign, but we have other people that will do the ground campaign for us. But we already hit Cargyle, as you know, twice. Even 3 times. I said, hit everything but the oil. Just leave that little area from 25 yards out. Leave that little area. Don't touch the oil, because I don't want that in terms of the world economy. It's a chunk of the world economy. So we haven't hit that. At some point we could, but I think it's unlikely. As far as taking it is concerned, if we degrade them far enough and deep enough back, I would do that.
Do you anticipate that the strikes we're seen this week against Iran will expand? Are you considering hitting energy targets or other locations inside of Iran?
I'll save the energy targets for last, but ultimately we'll hit energy targets, yeah. But we're going to hit them very hard tonight. We're going to hit them very hard tomorrow night. We're going to hit them very hard the night after. And then next week it gets really bad for them, because next week comes the power plants. Next week comes the bridges. We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges unless they get to the table and negotiate.
Do you believe the Iranians are serious about making a deal?
I think they have no choice.
Why haven't they yet?
I think if I didn't do the way I'm doing, they would never make a deal.
Now, here's the thing. Trump is a fool in the sense that he's still thinking about, oh, they need to make a deal. These people don't want a deal. These people want the United States to make one mistake, hit another school with a bunch of little girls, something like that, and the people within the United States will turn on the government immediately, and Trump will have no choice but to bring the troops back. But I think Trump, just the way he is, I honestly think the Iranians are trying to last till the midterms. I wouldn't be surprised if the Democrat Party isn't funneling them money to survive until the midterms. I would not be surprised. I put nothing up across the Dems. And we being independents today, we're looking at this objectively. They have no reason not to just say, you know what? I mean, they were literally about to be allowed back into the normal global economy. And they just said, F it, we don't care. And started attacking not American military vessels. They started attacking civilian vessels. So the American military hits you, and instead of hitting them back, you hit civilians and then say you're tough. Yeah, we're tough. We're powerful. We're gonna rain hell down on America. And Americans in America talk about let's abolish ICE. Boy, it don't get no stupider. If you had told Americans this scenario 20 years ago, they would believe it was fiction. We are at war with the world. We are in a conflict with the world #1 world sponsor of terrorism. And there are people in our country screaming to make our borders less secure. And you know, we were all kind of crazy because we were like, how are the Democrats going to win elections with an open border policy? And then they lost in a landslide, right? But I understand what they think, because they have a bunch of voters who are just dumb. Yeah, let's go after the #1 state sponsor in terrorism. Leave our borders wide open and wait for what happens. The same way October 7th happened in Israel, and the government knew it was going to happen, and they let it happen to give them an excuse to bomb Gaza. You believe America won't do that? You believe America won't do the same playbook? Let an attack happen so they have an excuse to go to war for 20, 30 more years so that their rich oligarch friends, their elite 1% friends can get rich again? Why would you keep falling for the same bullshit scam? Man, it ain't about the news. You can watch alternative news, bro. There's all types of stuff. I go watch the Hindustan Times and all types of stuff. But I don't play it on here because you can't barely understand what they're saying. What will you cult MAGA losers do with your pathetic lives when Trump is gone? We'll keep on living. The losers are the people who allow who are going to allow Trump derangement to cause them to support the destruction of their own country. Those are the losers. Whether you believe both political parties are a scam, anyway, it doesn't matter. This ain't about Trump. This is about America. Trump happens to be the president. Hey, did you wash your hair? Okay, but I told you first thing, wash your hair. And you didn't do it. So hurry up. Anyway, so sorry about that. But you're gonna allow your Trump derangement to cause you to destroy America. And then what are you gonna have? Nothing. You're gonna have nothing at all. Hey, Black Loki, send a super chat since you spamming the hell out of my comments. I appreciate the engagement though. But guys, but yeah, so I don't know. We can see what Trump has said. Then I probably won't do another topic.
They would have never made a deal with Obama. That deal was the worst deal. What they did sign was a worthless piece of paper. What they signed with Obama was a worthless piece of paper that was a road to a nuclear weapon. And what I have is a wall. There will be no nuclear weapon. I'll never sign. And when you listed the three things, by far the most important is they will not have a nuclear weapon.
Take me back to the moment before February 28th, when you made the decision to launch Operation Epic Fury. Was there a specific piece of intelligence that made you decide to launch this operation?
Well, it was specific in the sense that it just never stops, and they're going to go forward, and they wanted a nuclear weapon. We knew they wanted a nuclear weapon. If they have a nuclear weapon, Israel wouldn't be here. Look,
they said they didn't want a nuclear weapon.
Well, they say that. Everything they say is a lie. They lie. I've never seen anything like it. They also come out and they'll tell you we never discussed nuclear, and we're in a room for 5 hours. That's all we discussed. And they'll walk out and say, nuclear was not discussed. Everything was discussed ad nauseum. They were going to have a nuclear weapon within 2 weeks. Had we not done the B-2 bombers, had we not bombed their nuclear sites, their 3 nuclear sites, and there's another one we're looking at right now, as you know.
Pickaxe Mountain.
We're looking at Pickaxe because somebody said there's a little activity. You know, we have cameras, Space Force, we have cameras that they can read the badge, they can read your name, probably Mohammed. They can read your name on a badge from...
Hey, Trump is wild, bro. He basically about to say what he said last time. They got the surveillance where it could see the badge on their chest. So if anyone tries to go into Pickaxe Mountain, they basically gonna launch a damn bomb from space and obliterate them. Space Force. What I want to address is this thing right here with Dane's P420. I would love for this guy. I think I gave you the link. Dane, can you donate me a 5 minutes of your time and come up here and tell me how this is all Israel's fault? Because I'm still trying to learn when it comes to that. You know, people are like, this is all Israel's fault. It's Israel's fault Iran doesn't want to give up nuclear ambitions? I don't understand how that's Israel's fault. It's Israel's fault that Soleimani created the roadside bomb and destroyed blew off a bunch of American soldiers' limbs. It's Israel's fault that Iran kidnapped American people way back in the 80s. It's Israel's fault that Iran keeps going to the table, and when there's a negotiation happening for peace, they keep on breaking the agreement and attacking civilian vessels. Now, I'm not going to say that Israel isn't responsible for some things that happen in this situation, but I don't think you could blame the bad decisions that Iran is making on Israel. That's just stupid. That's just stupid. They're making bad decisions for their country because of Israel. I'm asking you a question. I'm being real. Iran is letting Israel control their decision making with their foreign policy. Because I just had this argument with a bunch of Palestinians at jiu-jitsu practice. I just had this argument with them. I train with Middle Eastern people. One guy is from, where's that guy from? He's from, well, I know one guy is from Syria but his mother is Palestinian. He was born in, his mother actually was killed in Palestine. Then I had another guy, he's from Lebanon. And then I got another guy he's actually Palestinian, and another guy who is from Jordan. I just had this conversation with them, sitting on the mat at jiu-jitsu. And I told them, like I will tell you now, the United States going to the table to negotiate with Iran is the worst case scenario for Israel. Because if Israel wants to keep the war going, the United States and Israel talking is the worst possible thing that could happen. But who is disrupting the peace talks? Benjamin Netanyahu literally tried to break up the peace talks between the United States and Israel, right? It didn't work. It didn't work. Trump went at Netanyahu. Vance went at Netanyahu. They was like, bro, you pushing it. You tripping and you pushing it. Who broke off the peace talks? I'm going to ask you one simple question. Who broke off the peace talks? They said, can we get a little break from the peace talks to go bury Khamenei? United States said, okay, go handle your business. Bro, they start launching missiles and drones at civilian ships. You cannot blame that on Israel. You cannot blame that on Israel. You can't. So Danes 420, what you're saying doesn't make any sense. Because the United States was like, get off my back, Israel. Chill. They put him in the corner like a little bitch. Get in the corner and shut up. Iran, we talking to you now. We ready to offer you this, all these good things the United States offer them. All we want is you to give up the nuclear ambition. We'll even still let you enrich uranium, but you need to let inspectors come in. Iran had everything they wanted. People were saying, Iran won the deal. Iran won the deal. That's what people were saying. Trump capitulated. Why would you walk away from a deal that you're winning? Why would you walk away from the table when you're winning the deal, according to everyone else? No, I'm not putting that on Israel. I'm not. This needs to go squarely on the shoulders of who is responsible. Iran. Israel got G-checked by America. And Iran chose to go back home, get hyper emotional, and start launching missiles at civilian ships. And here we are. I hate when people do that. I hate when people mindlessly just say, oh, it's Israel's fault. Like that's some type of cure-all excuse for everything that's ever happened. No, it's not. And I don't care about Israel one way or another one. But you're not going to sit in my face and tell me Israel made Iran walk away from the best deal ever and go attack civilian ships. That's purely stupid. That's purely stupid. Bro, it ain't about controlling Israel. It's about you're stupid, you're delusional. If you think that Israel made Iran walk away from the table. Simple question. If Israel controls the United States, why did the United States go to the negotiating table with Iran? Israel was like, don't negotiate, keep going, finish the job. United States was like, we're going to negotiate. If Israel controls the United States, why doesn't Bibi Netanyahu just say, Trump, bring 10 aircraft carriers and let's just bomb them off the face of the earth? You think Bibi Netanyahu wouldn't do a ground invasion? He literally invaded Lebanon. You could believe whatever you want, but when your bull crap doesn't add up, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to call you out. You say whatever you want to, as long as you back it up with facts. That's why you want to bring your little narrow ass up here, because you know what you're saying is bullshit. Link again. Boom. Iran is done already. You sound stupid. Iran's 4 times bigger. Bro, what exactly is Iran doing right now? Nothing. Nothing at all. You don't believe America could win because if America does win, it destroys your narrative. But America's already won. America could bomb Iran every day until doomsday. They could bomb Iran. America could close the Strait of Hormuz for 450 years. And it wouldn't even cost it would cost like a little bit under $1 trillion. I've already done the numbers. There's no way Iran's beating America. Look, America dropped bombs from B-52 Spirit bombers. I think it was 7 of them. They flew over Iran and China and Russia for 14 hours straight and nobody detected them. You just sound dumb at this point. These are the delusional people. Iran realizes United States is OP. Russia realizes United States is OP. China realizes United States is OP. Remember back when people like Dane used to say, if the United States attacks Iran, China and Russia, they're going to go into action and they all going to come get together and whoop our ass. Do you guys remember those days? Do you guys remember those days? Do you remember when they told us that BRICS was going to overthrow the American-run economy, American-dominated economy? None of this stuff happened. I'm tired of believing this. You won't come up here, though. Guys, in the comments, tell Dane to come up. Tell Dane to click the link and come up. Get all over him. He's arguing. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm telling him to click the link and come up and explain it to us. But he's scared. You're scared, Dane. You're a coward. I see why you root for Iran, because you're a coward just like them. You scared because you have no facts to back up nothing you're saying. Everything you're saying is just wishful thinking. They can't defeat Iran. Iran is already defeated. Bro, calling at work. Who cares? I get off at 6 p.m. Bro, shut up. You talking about damn Iran. Bro, you sitting in America. You don't even know what you're talking about. Iran has already been defeated because Iran has no nuclear weapons. And they're still getting bombed. And all they can, and they want to fight, but they can't fight. So all they can do is try to hit other countries right close to them. That's the worst kind of defeat. When you start trying to hurt innocent people, it's like when you fight a fist fight. And if you get beat up, then you go try to bully someone smaller than you. That is the proof that you lost. That's the proof that you lost. Because not only did you lose, you lost and then tried to go find somebody weaker than you to aggress against them. No, dude, now you're making it about something else. No one said Israel doesn't hurt kids and women. No one said that. Now, guys, he's admitting defeat. Now he's bringing up Israel hurts kids and women. And Iran doesn't? I don't know how Israel hurts kids, but and Iran doesn't? Now you're arguing stupidity. So Iran is good. They're literally beheading women right now. They're literally beating women right now. I don't see that happening in Israel. Click the link, Dane. No, you look it up. You look it up. You look it up. I can go just look. I'll go right here. What I like to do, I like to pull it up in real time so you guys can see it. I'm going to go into AI. Is AI okay? Because we know AI is fake. If AI says anything bad about Iran, it's fake. You know, the true ignorance. He brought it up, right? Let's go right here. I'm going to ask AI right in front of y'all. Is Iran currently beheading and beating women? So they getting bombed out right now, but they still got time So is Iran currently beheading and beating women? Why am I thinking that? Oh, here you go, searching. Let's see what it says. Okay. They gave us links. IranNewsUpdate.com, J-Post, Washington Post. I don't know what that .org is. IranHRM.com. 50 sources. Current situation. Reports from international human rights organizations and news outlets indicate that Iran continues to enforce strict laws against women, particularly regarding mandatory hijab regulations, which can result in arrest, detention, and alleged physical abuse by morality police. However, specific verified reports of state-sanctioned beheadings of women in 2026 are not widely documented in major international databases as a current systemic practice. So they're saying corporal punishments and executions. Iran maintains one of the highest execution rates in the world. While women are executed for crimes such as drug trafficking, murder, and enmity against God, what is that? Often linked to political activism, the primary method of execution reported is hanging, not beheading. Okay, hanging. Beheading is not the standard lethal method of execution under current Iranian penal code for women. Through brutal treatment in detention is widely reported. There are frequent accounts of women being beaten, arrested, and subjected to physical violence by security forces and morality police for violating dress codes or participating in protests. So this is what's going on. They just killed the lady. They literally just killed the lady, right? They just killed the lady who was I think she was a journalist, and she did a protest. They said she worked for Mossad and killed her. Look. Oh, I'm gonna look up the Israel one too. These people are so silly because Israel's doing it. I don't care about Iran doing it. You don't care that it's being done. You only care because it's Israel. You don't care that Israel's doing it. You only care because it's Israel. How many civilians has Iran killed in 2026 protest fallout? Look at this. Let's go to we're in AI right now. And I want you to show me where Israel's doing this, right? Not even to defend Israel, but I want to see where anything like this is happening in Israel. Confirmed and verified accounts. Independent human rights monitors and advocacy groups have established verified death tolls that far exceed government figures. Human rights activist news agency, as of February 2026, this organization verifies 7,000 deaths, identifying 6,488 civilians and 236 minors among the dead. So they complained about the United States hitting a school with 150 girls. They're killing 236 minors. They noted that over 11,000 additional deaths, so 11,000 plus 7,000, were under investigation. Citing advocacy organizations tracking fatalities, reported in early February that the crackdown left more than 6,800 people dead, the vast majority being protesters. Center for Human Rights in Iran reported that 6,479 confirmed deaths by late January 2026, with an additional 17,000 deaths under review, suggesting a potential exceeding 23,000 based on available data from major cities. Higher estimates and massacre allegations. Times Magazine and activists by late January 2026 reports estimated the death toll at roughly 30,000 protesters. Some lists circulated by activists cited figures as high as 36,000. Guys, Israel's doing that? I get you got Israel's bad. Okay, you can have it. I don't care. But show me another country on earth that is killing 36,000 protesters. Protesters. Just protesters. They can't have guns. What country is slaughtering 36,000 people for protesting the bad economy? Look at this guy. Israel is worse. Stupid. You have Israeli derangement syndrome, bro. Now tell me the source to pull up where you can prove Israel killed 40,000 protesters. No, don't bro me. Tell me what to type in so I could no. Do the research. I'm doing it right in front of you in real time. Oh, now he doesn't know what to type in. Use your stupid AI is stupid. Look, AI is stupid now because it proves Iran is killed. If you say Israel and Iran are bad, okay, I can agree with that. I can live with that. But you're trying to make it seem like there's a good guy here, and I don't think there are any good guys. Search what? Last 5 years. All right. How many women and children has Israel killed in the last 5 years? Searching. $38,000 women and girls were killed in Gaza between October 2023 and December 2025. 22,000 adult women, 16,000 girls. This average represents at least 47 women and girls killed per day during that period. Now, these people were killed in bombings. Gaza, as of early 2026, verified reports indicate that over 21,000 to 23,000 children have been killed in Gaza since October 2023. Some estimates from advocacy groups and health officials accounting for missing persons presumed dead place this number closer to 25,000 or higher. So at this point, it's saying that less, because Iran killed 40,000 and now they're saying 50,000 in 3 months. They're saying Israel killed 23,000. That's not more. No, good day. Look, past 3 years, we're going over this year. We're talking about this year because I know in the past 3 years, Iran is probably still more. No, whatever you say. Yeah, you lost. Look, Gaza, this year, 2026, 23,000. 25,000 is the max that they're estimating. Iran, 40,000. Bro, you're just mad. We're looking at the numbers. So, guys, look at these people. These are the people who they're telling you they're the reasonable people. We're looking at the number says 25,000. We looked at the number with Iran that said 40,000. We looked at it. So now, to be a libtard, you have to believe that 25,000 is more than 40,000. See what I'm saying? This is why you can't reason with these people. He's mad at Israel, so he's willing to challenge the foundational elements of mathematics. And now 25,000 has to be more than 40,000 So his point can be proven. Zion Roger Aube. Oh, dude, you're still here. This guy's my biggest. Listen, bro, this is all you need to know. 25,000. Iran killed 50,000 of their own citizens, mind you. People in Gaza are not citizens of Israel. But either way, 25,000 versus, admit. Okay, I'll keep scrolling when you admit that Israel killed less than Iran. What up, 3 man?
What's up, Brandon? Here's the disconnect right?
Wait.
Yes,
This
sir.
dummy thought that it was going to say Israel killed more people than Iran. Iran has killed 50,000 people this year. Israel killed 25 in bombings. Iran is literally shooting these people to death, their own citizens. Go ahead.
Here's the disconnect, man. See, Iran, okay, about some of these countries, right? And can we consider Israel to be a first world country, a westernized country?
Yes.
Okay. So one thing more about these first world countries, even kind of borderline secondary countries, they don't use their people as human shields like Iranis and the Palestinians do. Like, I give you an example. Why would you have military equipment on top of a hospital?
Right.
I give you another thing. Iran. Why would you make a school? Why would you make a school? What was that? All girls school or just a regular? It was an all girls school. Why would an all girls school be at a former military base and right next to a military base?
Well, you know what? I made that same argument when that first happened, but I also realized that the United States has schools right next to military bases and on military bases with little kids.
Well, yes, but
so this is
here's
common, I guess.
Well, here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. If you look at a military base and you look like at a school next to a military base, you can literally see the difference from the sky.
Yeah.
We got Google Maps, right?
Right.
You can literally see the difference of a regular school. You will see a football field, or you'll see a playground and all that good stuff, right?
Right.
You wouldn't see military grade radar detections on top of a school, would you? Nope. We're talking about the United States. You wouldn't see a military grade radar detector on top of a school, or anti-aircraft ammunition on top of a school. But
of course,
these countries could do that, and when the accident happened, they don't say, why are you having military equipment at schools? Why are you having military equipment at hospitals? But they get hit. You see, United States is bad. See, look what the United States. That's basically all I hear is crying and complaining. But you guys can't do no form of critical thinking. You know what? Maybe all the bombs Iran has launched doesn't hit their actual targets. You never thought about that? You never thought about 20% of Iranian missiles actually hits their own citizens? Never thought about that, though. God, you gotta love America sometimes, though, brother.
Look, yeah, no, this is true. I'm looking at these guys in the comment. This guy said Gaza isn't in Israel, bro. I said Gazan residents are not citizens of Israel, dummy. That's what I'm saying. They take what you said, they twist it, and then try to argue with what they want. They wish you would have said. No, bro, you lost. Iran has killed 25. Israel has killed 25,000 women and children, and Iran has killed 50,000. And from 2021 to 2023, the number of women killed in Gaza was only in the hundreds, while the number Iran killed was in the thousands. Iran is vicious. And I'm not saying that they both can't be bad, but I'm just telling you that neither one is the good guy. There is no good guy in this equation, in my opinion. These dudes have been fighting Muslim, Islam, and Jewish. They've been fighting for thousands of years, and it ain't gonna stop today or tomorrow. You dumb to try to pick a side.
What's the saying? All is fair in love and war.
Yeah. Whatever you want to say.
Yeah. I wish they could go back and finish I wish they could go back and saying that well, the Palestinians were in an open prison.
Yeah. Zion, you're a coward. You never tried to debate me. The link is placed in the comments every single live, and you're scared and you never click it because you're a coward. Straight up.
Hell, I will be your moderator. I'll moderate for y'all. Debate now, Zion. I moderate for you.
These people have no facts, bro. What's up, Zion? What's up, Loki?
Hey, so my only concern with the conversation is it's becoming about morality, and it's not necessarily about what it could have potentially happened. Now, when you guys say like Iran backed deaths and you say 30 million, like I was looking on the AI thing too, and it basically said
30
or not 30 million, 30,000. Sorry. You said 30,000. And when I was looking on the AI, they said that a lot of that could be attributed to militia groups that are in Iran. So could you educate me a little bit on like the Houthis and the Hezbollahs?
Well, if you know anything about war, militias are formed by the government. Remember, if you know anything about the Revolutionary War of the United States, George Washington was the leader of the Virginia militia. He was not a ranked, he wasn't a royal officer of a British contingent. The British had a militia in the militias in the American colonies in place of troops. So if the people were killed by militias, those were militias that are organized by the Iranian government, and they are authorized and given orders by the Iranian government.
So the data online suggests that these different militias, they tend to have their own organization structures. And this is not just in Iran, but like in countries like Nigeria, where you have militias that enter into the country.
It doesn't matter if they have it doesn't matter if they have their own organizational structure. They take their orders from the government. The IRGC is not going to just let militias exist within Tehran and say, oh, they're just autonomous and they can do what they want. No, their government.
No. So what I'm saying is like more than one country could have a militia in a given country, depending on how good its defenses are. So like a lot of these protests and stuff, like, yes, I'm saying Iran is obviously implicated in it, even though like legally in the court of law, I wouldn't be able to prove it. Otherwise, I don't know if they've had a court case about it yet, but I do know that.
Who are you trying to say is responsible for the militias?
I believe like all groups involved are.
All groups involved, like the
for example, like
the militia in Iran.
Well, for example, when you talk about American protests like Black Lives Matter, a lot of people always like to say that militias or Antifa is behind like the mass chaos and destruction that happened in those.
Antifa is not a militia.
Okay, well, it's not, but like the same kind of vibe.
The whole point of a militia is implies that it is something that is authorized by the government. It's something like protected under the Constitution and done in service to the government. America does not have militias in Iran. Israel does not have militias in Iran. The militias in Iran are the people who the IRGC uses to kill the protesters, so they don't get directly blamed for it. They're not going to send IRGC troops to go do it because then people say,
Right,
oh,
but
they were
like for example, let's assume a protest per se. I don't know anything about the protest, so I don't want to assume, and that's why I'm coming from it from a like just thinking about it logically in terms of who could potentially be at fault and why would they be at fault. But
we know who's at fault,
would you
the
say
IRGC.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So we established that they're at fault too, but I'm also establishing that
In Israel,
maybe Israel could be at fault as
Israel
well.
is at fault. They're the planes that are dropping the bombs are owned and operated by Israel, dude.
Right,
Like
but like
I'm
even
not
including,
a
but
person who's
even the stuff
deranged
that
to
you're
think
blaming solely on the RIG,
no one's
I believe
blaming
that
anything.
Israel might have
No,
influenced it.
you guys give exactly. So now you're getting to the meat of your argument. You're literally trying to blame the things the IRGC are doing on Israel.
No.
That's
What I'm saying is that they're
you
both
did.
doing it. So
But I've
in
already
terms of
said
the
that.
protests, you're saying that it's absolutely impossible for Mossad agents to help orchestrate protests, to do stuff like how Antifa made Black Lives Matter protests, like
Yes,
this sort
because
of thing.
even after the protest, the IRGC continued to hang these people and kill them in town
Yeah,
square in
they
front of
did that,
everybody.
and those
Okay,
were public executions on the book.
so if Mossad was doing it and Iran was like not for it, well then what? So if Iran's doing it and Mossad's doing it, then Mossad is helping Iran, and Iran should be like, okay, cool, they're killing people we want to kill. But if Mossad was doing it and Iran didn't want it to happen, why would Iran continue to kill and behead people after? And why would they continue to kill protesters? Your argument is like it's basically absurd because
What makes it absurd? My argument,
what makes it
my only
absurd is
argument, my only
did you
implication is
did you listen to what I just said?
stating.
If
Well,
Mossad is killing the
I
same
understood
protesters,
exactly what you said, but all my
if
argument is not putting the blame
why
on
would
Israel.
let me ask you a
It's just
question?
saying that Israel could have influenced events
No,
to
I'm
occur
asking you
a
a very
certain way.
simple question, and you can't overtalk me to get away from it. Why would
Okay, what's the
Mossad
question?
kill protesters who are doing the bidding of Mossad?
I mean, for example, if Trump drops bombs on a facility and then he tells the people that, hey, you guys have the right to your own future, and there are sleeper agents in said country who are organizing and rallying people behind certain causes that do lead to these protests that might not be 100% authentic in terms of the people being represented by the ideologies of the people who are being victimized, and more so by the ideologies of the people who've
I
been
understand what
organized.
I'm understanding what you guys are saying, but you guys got to show a motive
But
for
it's
that.
not you guys,
How
it's
does
me,
this?
man. I'm just saying it.
Is
I don't know what
this
everyone else is
idiot
saying.
Mossad or chaos agents? Okay, that's fine. But you have to tell me if Mossad is killing protesters and Iran is also killing the same protesters, that means Iran and Mossad is doing the work of Iran. They're doing what Iran wants them to do. If we enemies, right? But we got a bucket and we picking strawberries. If I'm picking strawberries and throwing them in the bucket, and you picking strawberries and throwing them in the bucket, aren't we essentially working together towards the same goal?
I mean, it depends on what you think the goal
It's a
is.
yes or no answer. The goal is to kill people as retaliation for protesting. Because once you kill them, they don't protest anymore.
Right. But what about when the whole thing happened with Israel? When
I'm going at your
Gazans went into
initial premise.
Israel and took a bunch of people.
Your initial premise, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, so I think it's called Jane, or no, it probably wasn't January 6th. But essentially what happened was there was a festival
October
that happened in
6th.
Israel and a bunch of people were kidnapped. And when that happened, a lot of people were saying Israel had the capacity and capability to protect those people and didn't.
I believe Israel knew that the attack was coming and they let it happen so they could have an excuse to invade Gaza again. We already know this.
Right. So if both countries are doing the same thing, why are we there? We just
no, but we didn't invade nobody for January 6th. Biden was in office when that happened.
No, not us, January 6th. I'm talking about the big event that happened in Israel
October
that
7th.
led to like the Gaza
October 7th.
Yeah.
Trump wasn't even in office on October 7th. And Trump stopped that bombing in Gaza that was happening. I don't know if you guys remember, Trump shut that down.
Right. I'm not blaming Trump. I'm just saying, like, I believe both sides are the problem. And then
I've already
from
said
that perspective, what should America do about it?
America should do what America's doing. Bomb the shit out of Iran and be open to negotiate, because Israel is not controlling America's negotiations. Israel doesn't want America to negotiate at all. And America's like, F you, we're going to negotiate if that's what we want to do. So Israel's not controlling. Look,
Yeah,
everything.
but like, how long will the
listen,
negotiations last?
everything, I don't know. Everything that has happened in the past 2 months has absolutely destroyed this narrative that Israel controls America. It's very clear Israel does not control America, because if
But the problem
Israel,
is, like, even if you believe progress has happened in the past 2 months, it's the same stuff is still going on. Like, being able to negotiate doesn't really matter unless you can predict when a resolution is going to.
no, that's not how that works. Y'all,
I mean, it's not how that
you
is how it
guys are
works. I
thinking
mean, like,
like children.
if we're
You guys are,
negotiating for
listen,
like 3 more years, then like,
listen, bro.
what is the
You guys are
point?
thinking like children. The war on terror lasted 20 fucking years. This dude been over there for 4 months. Stop with your microwave mentality. It's not as easy as just clicking your heels together and then something's gonna be done.
No one's
This is
saying
the
that it's
real
going to be
world.
done in a year, but I'm just saying, now
What you
that you
guys
have
are
the
saying is
ability to
this.
negotiate, how long should
What
we
you guys
expect
are
the
saying.
negotiations to occur?
What you guys are
Like,
saying
that's a
is
predictive
this is not happening
thing.
as fast as it takes me to turn it on and off my cell phone
No,
or
it's not
click onto
saying that it's not
Facebook.
happening.
Yes,
It's
it
just saying
is.
that there's a lot of uncertainty,
There's
and there
no
should be a model to
uncertainty.
predict when
There's no
we should
uncertainty.
expect it to be close.
There's no uncertainty. This will be done
The
soon.
uncertainty is the fact that we can't predict when it will be close in
Yeah,
terms of the agreement.
yeah, and you can't. Yeah, and there's a lot of things you can't predict. But the way things are going, it looks like Iran is. I mean, Iran will just keep getting. Eventually, Trump will just bomb all their power plants and everything, and then they'll be in the Stone Age, and then it won't matter. So he's already telling them, if you don't, make a deal or whatever, we're gonna do this. And Trump doesn't seem like he's playing, so he'll probably do it before the
So
midterm.
like, when someone makes a threat like that, when should we expect Trump to just get it over with?
We don't know. They can't tell us. They know what
I
they
mean,
plan to do,
we
but they
don't know,
can't
but
tell us.
would you say it would take more than the term limit? Would you
No,
say
no.
Okay.
No. But all right, last thoughts. Jamie, 3-Man podcast, final thought. This dude.
Well, if I remember correctly, when we was in Afghanistan, like the war on terror and everything, right? Like, then it took like 10 years for the first talks of a peace, like a ceasefire, a peace agreement.
Yeah.
It's like 10 years.
Yeah.
They got a peace agreement in 3 months. And so I just believe, like, I want all of this shit to like just hurry up and just be finished, bro.
Yeah, everyone
Because
does.
clearly Iran, we all know Iran, they're bad actors. You talked at first, you wanted a ceasefire, but you're still trying to blow up tankers going in and out the Strait of Hormuz. Like Iran has been so bad with their bombing ships that they have literally bombed their own allies.
Yeah.
And so I'm just ready for all this to happen. And that's pretty much all I got to really say about it. Is just Iran, for the sake of their country, they need to hurry up and come to the table, because let's just be real. Their money ain't worth nothing. My monopoly money is worth more than Iran dollars right now. So they need to hurry up and come to the table.
300% inflation.
To all you said how much?
300%.
Oh yeah. So they need to hurry up and come to the deal, or they ain't gonna have a country. And to all you anti-Israel, Israel derangement syndrome people, hey, I Hey, it is what it is, man. You know, I hope y'all seek help for that. Israel is not the bad country that you all want to make it seem like it is. Israel is controlling the whole entire world type of
Oh my
narrative.
God. These people are like, APAC. Bro, APAC funded candidates lose elections every day. Every day. So if APAC was the boogeyman who's controlling everything, why do they lose? Why do their candidates lose all the time?
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. What it is these people are not willing to do what Israel does so they can get their way. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not even an Israel sympathizer or apologist. You want to control more than Israel? Put your money up. Y'all won't even donate $5 to a political candidate, but y'all mad because someone else is willing to do it. Everything you're unwilling to do, what does Les Brown say? In order to have the things tomorrow you must be willing to do the things today that others will not do in order to have the things tomorrow that others will not have.
Yep.
The Jewish people are willing to put their money up behind a candidate. They willing to invest in politics and all that to get the things in 2 years, 4 years that you ain't gonna get. You ain't willing to do it. It's not Mossad. It's you. It's you not wanting to take an active role in your politics. Go ahead.
And here's the crazy thing. If I remember correctly, half of the citizens, about half of the citizens in Israel are American citizens also.
A gang of them are.
And
Everybody in APAC is American citizen.
And so the problem I have with this shit is I'm like, you're talking about y'all talking about some of your own countrymen.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you hate America that much? If you hate America that much, why are you still here?
Wait. No, seriously.
I don't stay in places where I hate.
These people don't even do research, bro. These people don't do research. Like if you do research, you'll see 90% of these like conspiracies, they don't even make sense. And me, I'm a person, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. I'm not gonna gaslight you. But just like I pulled up those numbers, Israel's worse. They're both terrible. But if we just do the numbers, if we just do the numbers at face value, Iran has killed more than Israel. That's just what the numbers say. But they're mad at you if you don't just automatically buy their lines about Israel. I'm not gonna automatically buy your lines about the damn Klan because I want to know for myself. So I can know the truth. So I'm not out here looking stupid like y'all. You know what I'm saying? People ain't getting up every day to be lied to and fed misinformation. If you want that, there's channels that do that. Go watch that.
Well, it's because Democrat, like when it comes to one thing I could say about the right, we will not back a candidate who can continuously lie to us in our face.
Bro, if I'm up here saying misinformation, you will correct me. If you up here saying something that ain't accurate, I will correct you. That is what we owe to each other as men. Democrats sit up and let somebody keep telling a lie for 10 years. And then you go do the research like, bro, ain't no way these fools did. Like the situation with the big switch. You know how they say there was a big switch with the parties. Everyone knows that shit is a lie. But Democrats will keep saying it because they know their voters just are too lazy to go do the research. There was no big switch. Why are people still telling me that, talking about that when they're trying to win a debate? Because they know that certain people are too dumb. There was never no big switch or no parties. Never.
There was just a couple of it was actually 4 openly racist politicians at the time switched from Democrat to Republican.
From 1960 to 1990, only 4 Democrats went Republican. That's it. 4. There's 500 people on Capitol Hill. 4 of them switched parties. That's a big switch.
And they always talking about Thurman, and I'm like, well, you remember at the end of Thurman's political career, he had a multicultural cabinet. Like he had a multicultural staff.
Strom Thurmond, yeah. But they had a KKK member. The Democrat Party had a KKK member in a party on Capitol Hill all the way up to 2010. No, that's true. That's true.
I know.
Bird. Bird. He died in 2010. He was a straight Grand Wizard in the KKK. So where's the party switch? Wouldn't he have become a Republican? He served for decades. It's bull. But hey, thank you, 3 man. I got to get out of here.
I appreciate you, player. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
y'all.
Appreciate you, Playboy.
We'll be back with the live stream tomorrow at 8 a.m., y'all. So wake up early so y'all could join me, and look out for clips from this content coming at you later today, plus some original content, because I'm about to start just flooding this channel with content, because I just want to get my subscriber account up. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate everything you do for me in this channel. Till the next time, take care of yourselves, but most importantly, please take care of each other. Peace.